If you're in this room, I demand that you lock arms right now.
It doesn't matter what your ranking is.
And no matter what, we're coming back to this locker with a dub. Everybody got it right.
It doesn't matter what happened last year.
Ohio State now 7 straight wins over Penn State.
Or 10 years ago.
Hackenberg hit and dropped, and the game is over. This is a mismatch.
All that matters is this uniform.
And here come the Nittany Lions.
This team.
The Nittany Lions put the game away with a fabulous catch.
This moment.
And he's got a touchdown.
When you come to Penn State,
The biggest game of the season.
these are the games you live for.
Tonight's the night, man. We put it on the field.
Today, the big bad Buckeyes come to town.
The world-famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
But we're ready.
Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
This is our home.
I love this place. It's the best in college football.
This is our time.
Thank you, Saquon. Delivery to kickoff, sponsored by Wendy's. Saucy Nugs get $0 delivery in the Wendy's app. It is a helmet stripe game today. The stadium predominantly in white with that blue line at midfield to replicate those iconic Penn State helmets. What a setting we have today. It has been a one-score game in the fourth quarter, and 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two blue blood football programs, and so often this series has come down to the play of the quarterbacks, Matt.
Yes, we got a great matchup today. And after suffering an injury against Wisconsin last week, Penn State quarterback Drew Aller watched his backup, Bo Pribula, lead the Nittany Lions to victory. I got a chance to sit down with Drew this week to discuss his expectations against the Buckeyes.
What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
How you doing, buddy? How you
Nice
feeling?
to see you. Yep,
see you, man.
feeling good.
You've heard the narrative around Penn State in the big games.
We know what Penn State has done in big moments in previous years. They have come up short.
Ohio State last year wasn't your best game offensively. Is there something that you can take from that game and learn from that experience and apply to this week?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, that was one of the games I kept rewatching over the summer.
This passing game is just totally out of sorts.
I learned a lot from that game about myself, where I needed to grow. The biggest thing for me, I felt like we weren't that far off. So, for us going into the game, it's like just another opportunity to prove who we want to be and prove who we are.
The development of Drew Aller has opened the door for Penn State to finally break through in a big moment.
Where have you grown the most as a quarterback?
I think confidence and just leadership. And I think that just came from the way I prepare throughout the week.
Hey, work on three. 1, 2, 3.
And that's something that I really take a great amount of pride in, just because, I want to be the most prepared quarterback in the country. I think it's shown up each week for me. I feel like I've been playing my best football of my college career these past couple of games.
Aller's confidence sky high, dialing it up. Penn State looking good.
Penn State, it is time.
This is the time. This is the hump that you've been trying to get over.
This is a big game. There's no doubt about it. And I remember when I was playing, and I played in some big games, I always had the approach of it is just another game. How do you approach a game like this?
I definitely approach it the same way because, we talk about it as an offense. Our process is the process, no matter if we win by 50 or lose by 50. For me, I wouldn't change anything that has gotten me to this point.
Aller down the field, and it's caught! Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
That's what Penn State fans have been wanting.
It is a bigger game, and we just have to play to win and not play scared to lose, and play with the swagger we've been playing with these past couple weeks.
This is the one we've been waiting for.
It's going to be a great test, so it's going to be a fun one.
Let's go, dude. Let's go, man. I'll tell you what, you make me want to be in a huddle with you, that's for sure. And that's sitting down with him, he exudes the leadership and the confidence that you want in a quarterback, especially in this year. Honestly, I was like, I want to line up with you, man. I don't know where I'm going to play, but I want to be in that huddle because that's how he made you feel. And no matter his health status today, we're going to find out They need him to be at his best to beat Ohio State. He's had a tremendous season. On the flip side of that, we are going to see the other quarterback, Bo Prabula, coach that you talked about earlier, his ability to come in and change the pace of the game with his running and the play action, and then also Will Howard on the other side. Will Howard, we've talked about at length, take some shots downfield with those big-time receivers, get him involved in the run game. But you talked about earlier, the chip on the shoulder for both of these guys, Drew Aller not being recruited by Ohio State, living there, and then also on the flip side for Will Howard. So a lot of intriguing storylines. All these guys got to be great today to win.
They're going to be great. It really comes down to, though, the great players, the playmakers. Where this game is going to be won and lost is, to me, the Ohio State wide receivers. The star power of Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, and that Penn State secondary. Guys like Jalen Kimber, A.J. Harris, Cam Miller. That's the challenge. Penn State coach plays 50% of their snaps are man-to-man. That is a mismatch nightmare for you if you are a Penn State. So you either have to do one of two things. You have to get out of playing a lot of man, play more zone, which opens up the running game for Ohio State, or you're going to have to live with it and match up. And here's the one thing I'll say about Ryan Day that people don't give him enough credit for. In big games like this, he knows how to get his stars the ball. Yeah. Go back to last year when Marvin Harrison Jr. went off. If you think for 1 second that the last 28 minutes of the game, like last week when Jeremiah Smith didn't get a target, you are out of your mind. They will target him early, often, and especially when it matters most at the end of this game. So keep an eye on those matchups on the outside.
I also like the matchup offensive line, Ohio State offensive line versus Penn State defense line, an injured Ohio State offensive line. And when you say the term offensive line, you think about movement. They didn't have the movement last week they didn't push Nebraska actually pushed them around. And then Nebraska defensive line, when they moved, they caused 8 tackles for loss. In this environment, the third left tackle, Donovan Jackson moving out there, you have cadence issues. If they do not control the line of scrimmage, Ohio State's got a problem here. If they do, I think Ohio State wins.
I think the onus comes on this front seven of Penn State. You mentioned injuries on the offensive line. You mentioned the struggles on the offensive line. I think it's going to be huge for this front seven to be able to cause havoc and live in the Ohio State backfield today. They do a great job of standing 5, 6, 7 at the line of scrimmage. Who's bringing pressure? Who's dropping the coverage? They do a great job of D-line stunts in games, something that Ohio State's offensive line has struggled with. So I expect Stick City, Abdul Carter, and this defensive front seven to cause havoc and have some juice behind them today from 110,000. They're going to be a difference in this game today.
They will be a difference. They can be a 3 to 5 point difference maker.
Absolutely.
Here at home. Last week, remember, the Buckeyes, nearly a 4-touchdown favorite. They escaped Nebraska with a narrow 4-point win. Today, on the road, the Buckeyes favored to make it 8 straight wins over Penn State. They're favored by 3. Coach, how do you see it?
Absolute street fight.
Yeah.
This will go down and be a classic. I'm going Buckeyes by 1 right at the end of the game. I think it's going to be a classic.
I think it's going to be a classic, dude. 2 heavyweight fighters. I got Penn State winning this one, and it's not because I'm feeling the juice or the energy. I just think they're coming in this game. Ohio State with the injuries. We haven't even talked about Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, who are fantastic running backs. They got to get those guys going. I think Penn State finally gets that big win. James Franklin finally gets the big win.
I've been going back and forth all week. Who am I going to take?
Come on,
Who am I going to take? Ohio State, Penn State. Can Penn State finally get it done? I'm going with the Nittany Lions. I got them 24-23, upsetting, finally getting the win they've been looking for against Ohio State.
You must have copied off my sheet because I've got Ohio State 24-23. Another tight one. Jeremiah Smith makes a play for the Buckeyes at the end to help them win this game.
I did copy your score, by the way, but I went the other way.
Only 8 remaining unbeatens in FBS, and we are, Penn State is one of them. And you can hear the volume starting to get turned up a little bit louder here in Beaver Stadium. And here comes Coach Franklin and the Nittany Lions. It's the 4th top 5 showdown of the season, and it's only on Fox. We'll see you next at the break. For the call, upstairs, Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Welcome to Beaver Stadium. Happy Valley. And we're ready for the biggest game of the weekend as the world-famous Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked 4th in the nation, coming to town to take on the 3rd-ranked Nittany Lions of Penn State. A look at the Big Ten standings. Huge game, folks, for the conference. Oregon, top of the table, undefeated at 5-0, followed by Indiana at 5-0 as well. Penn State, Ohio State, right there with them. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, and welcome to Happy Valley. Let me give you a thumbnail sketch of what this game is about today. Get you up to speed. This game is about Ryan Day and James Franklin. Ryan Day, head coach of Ohio State. Great coach. He's won a lot of games, but he's 2-7 against top 5 teams. That's a problem. James Franklin, same deal. Great coach, head coach at Penn State, but he's 1-9 against Ohio State, who's generally a top 5 team. That's a problem. But the great thing about today's game is a problem will be solved. Either Ryan Day beats a top 5 team or James Franklin beats Ohio State, and they'll have to do it shorthanded. Ohio State's got offensive line problems, and Penn State, their star quarterback, has a tender knee. I'm joined by my quarterback, Joel Klatt. And Joel, they say conflict is drama. Drama is conflict. We got plenty of that going around today.
I can't wait for this game. I think all of America can't wait for this game. And there's so much intrigue like you just talked about. We start with the Penn State quarterback situation and Drew Aller. He was banged up last week, missed the second half of that Wisconsin game. And Drew Aller is a guy that when he's coming into the game, he is there to throw the football down the field, orchestrate this creative offense. But his mobility will be in question. That's why I do believe we're going to see quite a bit of Bo Prabula, who came in the second half against Wisconsin and played really well, 11 of 13, and again, gives them that ability to attack the defense with his legs and run the football. Now, on the opposite side, let's talk about Ohio State. Will Howard transfers in, and he has been sensational. Statistically, one of the better quarterbacks in the country. And here's the thing you got to realize about the last few years in this matchup specifically. Ohio State has had the outpitch being Marvin Harrison Jr. Will Howard is going to need his wide receivers to step up and play huge in this ball game. That goes to Emeka Egbuka and Jeremiah Smith, who I think are two of the best, if not the two best wide receivers in the sport. They've had Marvin Harrison Jr., and now will Howard need to feature these two guys out here to get a win on the road.
All right, time now to join the third member of our team on the sideline. You know who she is. Let's go downstairs to the All-American girl, Jenny Tabb.
Well, Gus, Will Howard may be rocking the scarlet and gray today, but growing up in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, he dreamed of playing here at Penn State, and today he finally gets a chance to play at Beaver Stadium. He just didn't picture himself doing it as the opposing quarterback. Now, Will told me he has no idea how many friends and family are here. The list is too long, but you know who is here watching? His sister, Tori, who is currently a student at Penn State. She told her brother she had to endure Will Howard Hate Week, reminding her friends, guys, I have the same last name. Now, she told her brother she would wear a Buckeye hat to support him from the family section, even if it pains her. So I asked Howard, given all of that hype, the magnitude of this game, are there added nerves? And he said, honestly, it does seep in a little bit, but I've played in big games. I anticipate the kid in me when I run through that tunnel, but then it is all business. We've got work to do.
All right, Jenny, thank you so much. What a day here in Happy Valley. Come join us in the mountains, folks. 53 degrees. It's got a nice bite in the air, and we are ready for one of the biggest games of the college football season in a series that dates back to a 1912 meeting in Columbus. Ohio State leads it 24-14 and has won 7 in a row and 11 of the last 12. Ohio State won the toss. Deferred. Penn State will receive. I hope you got your popcorn ready today, folks, because this has the potential to be a classic. Buckeyes, Nittany Lions, here we go. Nicholas Singleton inside his own 5. Singleton hits the sideline and gets out of bounds as he crosses the 25-yard line. And that brings on Penn State's star quarterback, who's nursing a tender knee, Drew Aller.
This guy has been really terrific, in particular when it comes to protecting the football. Yes, he threw the 3 picks against USC, but outside of that, for the duration of his career, he's been terrific protecting the ball. He's going to need to do that today. And we will see Bo Prabula at some point, maybe early in this game. The creativity from Andy Kotelnicki, we're going to see it early and often.
First down and 10 of the 27-yard line as Penn State starts. And they'll hand it off straight ahead, and that is Nick Singleton running right, tackled by JT Tuimoloau. A gain of 2 offensively. We are the offense for Penn State.
Now, this offensive line is going to need to play well. That's an obvious. But, Gus, it's going to need to be the creativity. We've talked about Andy Kotelnicki all year long. I expect him to give all sorts of different formations and motions and shifts early in this game. Look at this unique formation. All these guys, 3 guys now moving, and now all of a sudden Aller out of the backfield, and Warren will take the snap.
Tyler Warren, number 44, lines up in multiple positions. He runs it and powers his way forward. Gets close to the first down, about a yard short. Caleb Downs with the tackle. Defensively for the Buckeyes.
Well, this defensive line we thought was going to be a premier defensive line in the country. They have not gotten the pressure that they've needed to. We'll see if they can get that today. In the back end, Lathan Ransom is back in the lineup after missing last week's game against Nebraska. Having him brings that veteran presence to that back end, but this group is going to have to play well.
On 3rd down and 1, Penn State looking for the first down, and I don't know. It does not look like they will get it. Nick Singleton trying to lean forward. Igbeneusen in on the play. Got to him first. Let's see. And they give it to him.
They're going to give it to him. Needed the 37-yard line, and it did look on that clip like he was able to get that football over the line to gain, and Igbeneusen was in there quickly. He's the one that had that big goal line stop last week against Nebraska. Penn State 1 for 16, Gus, last year on 3rd downs. Already today, 1 for 1. That's a good start.
First down at the 37-yard line. Aller in the shotgun. Singleton in motion. Here's Drew Aller. Quick strike. Singleton in space. Crosses the 40. Gets close to the 45. Igbeneusen there to chase him out of bounds. A gain of 8.
One of the things that Andy Kotelnicki was brought here to do as we get a new quarterback, Bo Prabula, is get the ball to the stars, Warren and Singleton. And already Singleton getting the bulk of these touches on the first series.
Prabula came in for Aller last week, 11 of 13, 98 yards, a touchdown, no picks, 6 carries, 28 yards. He was brilliant. 2nd down and 2 at the 45. Prabula hands it off. This time, Allen trying to turn the corner, and he's thrown down hard. Igbeneusen in on the play once again, a gain of 1.
And we get another 3rd down here. We've already seen a conversion from Penn State, and Gus, like I mentioned, that's the one thing that last year Penn State just could not do was convert. In fact, they were 0 for their first 15, and now they got a chance here with their second opportunity today.
3rd down 1 at the 46-yard line. Drew Aller continues to improve. He's looking like a classic pocket passer nowadays, Joel. Leadership qualities also improving. Aller dancing. Steps up in the pocket and gets the first down. That's the difference this year. Timely running for the quarterback.
One of the things that they said during the offseason is that Drew is going to have to be able to get a couple of first downs with his legs, in particular in these big matchups. He doesn't have anyone to throw the football to. Good coverage, and he knows, Gus, it's just a 3rd and short. All he's got to do is dive forward, and he says, first down, home team.
Drew Aller, 14 of 18, 148 yards, touchdown. He also rushed for 8 yards in the game last week, the win against Wisconsin on the road from midfield. Singleton in the backfield. Aller looks, goes through his progressions, decide to run, and nice juke move at the end. He'll gain 5 in front of Cody Simon.
Well, big question coming into this game was the mobility of Drew Aller. Could not play in the second half. Questions about if he would start or not, and now already twice in this big matchup using his legs to gain positive yards.
2nd down 5 at the 45, opening series for Penn State. 6 runs, 1 pass so far for the Nittany Lions. And they'll run it Aller just tucks it and dives forward. And right now, he gains 11 yards on this one.
Well, you're going to see the ends crashing from Ohio State. So Aller has got to show the ability that he can keep the ball and run outside. You see how fast Ohio State is crashing towards those great tailbacks. They didn't expect that Aller would be mobile today. And now already 2 first downs with his legs. Another rush. That's 3 positive runs for number 15 already on the first series.
Came into this game with 129 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 34. Aller with time. Steps up underneath Singleton, and he is chopped down immediately. Cody Simon sticking his nose in there, gain of 3.
Now, good protection, and it was just better coverage down the field. You watch Cody Simon. Here's number 0, the block. Oh, look at this. He's able to just bam, right when Singleton catches the ball, chops him down with his legs.
Nick Singleton, what a career he's having at Ohio State. At Penn State. Wanting a big game here against Ohio State. 10th play of the drive. Aller again under pressure. Flips it out. Wide side. Singleton with room. And Nick the Quick getting deeper inside Ohio State territory. Well done. 19-yard gain.
And again, he steps up from the rush. Jack Sawyer is going to have a free run. If you're number 33, Jack Sawyer, you got to get the quarterback on the ground, and Aller's able to elude and get a completion and another big first down.
There's no foul for a false start. We were in substitution mechanics.
That's our referee today, Cole Kneppel. He and his crew. This is one of the best officiating crews in college football. Several of these guys have officiated national championship games in the last couple of years, and certainly out here for premier matchup, top 5 matchup. Gus, 4th time we've gotten this season. It's just been a great season of college football, and here we go. Bo Pribula, creativity from Kotelnicki.
Remember, Bo Pribula can really run the football. He's a dual threat quarterback. 1st down and 10 at the 12. Pribula. And he'll throw it out of bounds. Trey Wallace, the intended receiver, brings up 2nd down and 10.
Well, this defense has been a really good red zone defense for Ryan Day so far this year. They had a big stop to give themselves a chance against Oregon. Last week, they got a 4th down stop inside the 5. And even though Penn State has been able to march the football down the field here, an 11-play drive, this defense looking to get off the field, forcing a kick. Was that a substitution error on there? It's hard to, we didn't have the mic of the official. Gus, I believe they called
an eligible man downfield. Kind of some confusion going on here. 1st down and 17 at the 17. They'll pitch it. Allen. And Allen gets through the hole. Not a lot. He'll pick up 2. Styles defensively for Ohio State.
Well, here's where Warren has not gotten the ball yet, and here's where you got to pay attention for number 44. What they like to do, Gus, is they like to clear areas of the field out and then bring Tyler Warren in behind those areas. You've got to pay attention to where 44 is, and certainly if he's in motion and now in the boundary slot right here, you've got to pay attention to 44.
2nd down and 13. He motions once again. And they'll run it straight ahead. Katron Allen. And Andy Kotelnicki, the big Zamboni, does a lot of tricky things with who gets to receive the football on the snap.
Yeah, we've already seen Warren take a snap. We've now seen Pribula and Aller take a snap, so you've got to be ready for what's going on. There's also a little confusion about the down and distance there, and now 3rd down for Penn State.
3rd down and 10 at the 12. Allen in the backfield. Aller steps into his throw and incomplete. That one a little too tall for Liam Clifford, and that'll bring up 4th down. And most likely the field goal unit will come on. Ryan Barker, who's been pretty hot. Another look.
Well, you look at this pocket, and Aller just isn't able to follow through and get down on that ball and drive it down towards the frame of his wide receiver because that rush was right in his lap.
So Barker comes in to attempt a 29-yarder. Became the team's field goal kicker 3 games back and hasn't missed, going 6 for 6, including a career-long 40-yarder against UCLA. Did not attempt a field goal against Wisconsin last week, and this one is pure. Penn State, their drive stalls. They'll settle for the 3 as they score on their opening series. Time for today's Game Flow, sponsored by Progressive. Play today's Fox Super 6 free-to-play game. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a chance to win your share of 5,000 big ones in weekly cash prizes. 3-0. Penn State over Ohio State. 6:54 here in the first quarter. 14-play drive for Penn State. 61 yards. They ate up 8 minutes. Time of possession. An interesting stat to pay attention to in this game. So coming up, Ohio State on offense. For the first time, Will Howard, a Pennsylvania native. He's got a huge chip on his shoulder against the Nittany Lions. He'll be on the field right after this. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. And by Jeep. There's only one. 3-0. Penn State on top of Ohio State. Buckeyes with the football for the first time on offense. Will Howard, their quarterback, Kansas State transfer, has had an outstanding season. 2nd highest passing efficiency in the country. He has been terrific, but as everybody in Buckeye country knows, it's about these games, the big ones. Can you win them? They did not beat Oregon, in part because of that slide late. Will Howard trying to correct those wrongs here today on the road. First down and 10 of the 25 for the Bucks, and they'll hand it off on first down. Quinshon Judkins, the Ole Miss transfer, will gain 1 offensively for the world famous. Well, tell you what's not world famous, Gus, this offensive line right now. This is a makeshift offensive line. Carson Hinsman is going to be in there at left guard. He was the center last year. Donovan Jackson, the normal guard, moves out to left tackle. So we've got 2 guys making their first start in these positions here in this environment against this defense. This is going to be a wild day for Ohio State. Only 64 yards rushing last week against Nebraska. Judkins again. And he'll chop his feet, get to the 31-yard line. Kobe King, the middle linebacker, with the tackle. Well, Ryan Day was 1 of 10 last week on 3rd down, and they desperately wanted to avoid this, Gus. An early 3rd down with this crowd getting ready to erupt. 3rd down and 5 at the 30, but remember, Ohio State has a young man in Jeremiah Smith, a freshman that is spectacular. Number 4. On 3rd and 5. Howard will throw it underneath. Oh, it's picked off! Down the sideline! Unbelievable touchdown! Penn State! Zion Tracy! He plays this absolutely perfect. Here's Zion Tracy, and watch as he's going to put eyes on the outside receiver as Abuka from the inside goes out, and they're going to try to bring Jeremiah Smith back on the inside. And Tracy immediately, when he sees Jeremiah Smith break inside, his eyes go back to the ball, and it's an easy pick 6. Cannot start better than this for Penn State. Zion Tracy, a sophomore from Hempstead, New York. St. Thomas More High School. And he gets the Nittany Lions off to a scintillating start. A 31-yard return for a touchdown. Same thing happened last week against Wisconsin.
Tell you what, man, this guy, Zion Tracy, he has been terrific. Jalen Reed last week with a pick six. That really sparked that comeback for Penn State. They needed it in that game, but this one happened early, Gus. It wasn't waiting until the second half. Right away, they get this crowd absolutely fired up with a pick six.
Ryan Barker comes in to attempt the extra point.
Full start. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, will retry.
Can James Franklin win a big game? That's the question. 1-13 against top 5 teams in his 11-year career at Penn State. Barker. Count it. 10-0. Nittany Lions throwing heavy punches early. Will Howard. I'll take that, says Zion Tracy. Nittany Lions looking good to start. Ryan Day and James Franklin are both facing similar criticisms from their fan bases. It's smooth sailing for the most part, but when the competition gets tougher, it's choppy waters and the pressure builds until they're bailing water against top 5 opponents.
I mean, the amount of pressure, I think, is heightened on Ryan Day, because if you're James Franklin, you know, I mean, there's an idea that you've never climbed this mountain, and even at 11-1, they'd likely still go to the playoff. But Gus, you know, losing this game for Ryan Day and Ohio State would not be good, and this is not the way they wanted to start.
Emeka Egbuka. As a matter of fact, Penn State 3.5-point underdogs coming into this game at home.
Well, and listen, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, and they feel like they've got nothing to lose. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, you know, Ohio State having to go through this for the second time in the last 3 games. They were in a top 5 matchup on the road at Oregon. They felt like that was going to help them, and it was going to help them remain calm and be more comfortable in this environment. But early on, Will Howard with a massive mistake, spotting Penn State an extra 7, and now this offense, Gus, they've got to put a series together now. Pressure's on.
Only the 5th interception of the season for Howard. 1st and 10 of the 26. He'll flip it out wide. And Quinshon Judkins does not go far, because Jalen Reed, who had that interception, pick 6 last week against Wisconsin, with the tackle, no gain.
Yeah, they're going to need to get something going quickly here. And now this Penn State defense, they feed off of the emotion of the crowd. You can feel it in here, the noise, and now the speed and aggressiveness of this defense should show up.
2nd down and 10 of the 26-yard line. Howard underneath, and that's caught by Jeremiah Smith, the talented freshman. And he's tackled by Jalen Kimber. Jeremiah Smith, folks, has just been brilliant this season. Geno Smith's cousin. But can he put up big numbers in a hostile environment? 3rd down and 1 of the 35. And Howard will use that big frame, 6'4", 235, with the tush push.
They have really struggled on short yardage, Gus, and it was leaking into last week against Nebraska on their first couple of short yardage, and then later in the game they just went finally quarterback sneak. Will Howard 6'4", 235 pounds, and here the first opportunity to go short yardage, quarterback sneak. That's something I thought that they would lean into, and they got some push with that offensive line.
1st down at the 37. 2nd series for Ohio State after the pick 6 thrown by Will Howard on their first. And they'll hand it off. Judkins hits the sideline, dives forward, and picks up a 1st down. And this Quinshon Judkins comes from Ole Miss, a prolific back for Lane Kiffin in Oxford.
I think he's been one of, if not the best back in the country over the last couple of years. Now, he got a ton of carries. That's part of the reasons why he's here at Ohio State, but he has got some serious juice, great vision, and certainly wants to contribute in a way that he hasn't in the last couple of weeks, Gus. He has not reached over 30 yards in each of the last 2 games. I would expect him to get a lot of carries today. Certainly lean into number one's ability.
Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for Judkins. Here's the pitch on the sideline. Q out of bounds at the 30. Chip Kelly showing his creativity as the offensive coordinator. That's a gain of 22.
You're just going to put a defender in conflict. As soon as he goes to the quarterback, then you've got a nice pitch on the outside. Beautiful job by Will Howard. He attacks the defensive end. That's Amir Vanover. And then just an easy pitch on the option to Quinshon Judkins, who takes it down the rail and out of bounds.
Last week, Judkins, 10 carries, 29 yards, 1 catch, 9 yards. First down and 10 at the 30. His numbers already better than that today. Travion Henderson has come in at running back. They'll pitch it to Trey on the near side. He'll get his shoulder square. Runs right into Kobe King.
I know that there's a huge mistake with the pick six, but offensive line-wise, Gus, I would say early in this game, the reviews would be positive for this makeshift offensive line for Ohio State and their ability to run the football so far. Over 4 yards per carry so far for Ohio State. They're at 8 a pop right now on their 5 rushes.
Second down and 5 at the 25. Ohio State shaking off the heebie-jeebies after that first drive. Howard squares. Howard fires. Caught. Touchdown, Ohio State. Emeka Egbuka. And the Buckeyes snap right back. 25-yard touchdown.
All right, so here's Egbuka. Look at him all the way inside. See him in there, Gus, right next to that defender right there. Here's Egbuka, and he's just going to slide his way across the formation and then back on that wheel route, and Howard's able to find him in the corner for a touchdown. Beautiful call from Chip Kelly there, using a little misdirection in order to get the TD.
Jaden Fielding in for the extra point, and it's good. 7-play drive for Ohio State. Covering 74 yards. They eat up 332. Emeka Egbuka with the score. 10-7, Nittany Lions. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Tomorrow we've got a huge NFL doubleheader on Fox versus Dak and the boys take on the Falcons or other regional action. Then it's America's Game of the Week as my main man, Jeezy, Jared Goff, and the Lions take on the Packers. Big time football, NFL action. I gotta go call my boss, Eric Shanks. I gotta get my Super Bowl tickets.
Because you think the Lions are going to be there.
They ain't no think about it, baby. We're going to the bowl.
You've been wearing your Lions hat a little more this year.
Every weekend. And Nicholas Singleton on the return. Let's go downstairs and check in with JT.
Well, guys, Coach Franklin has already been very animated with the officials, telling them they've missed some calls, specifically a missed holding call in the secondary, saying, don't let them hold us, make them play us. Franklin said earlier this week he believes that Ohio State secondary gets away with too much. He has been frustrated early with the officiating.
Well, you know, he sees a corner on the opposite side. Igbinosun, number 1, and Denzel Burke on the opposite side. Igbinosun, nobody's more penalized from a secondary perspective in college football than Igbinosun, so he's not wrong.
Aller trying to escape pressure, tucks it, and just slides down.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with his ability to elude the rush, Gus, so far. Hasn't it been good? Now 4 times already he's been able to elude the rush. That was Tyleik Williams in the backfield trying to get that sack, and he just calmly, speaking of Aller, steps away. I was wondering how he would react. You know, it's one thing to test an injury in like a pre-planned full-speed drill, but when you've got to react full speed, that is a different story, and he's done a nice job today.
4 carries, 24 yards already for Aller, 6 yards a pop. Here's the handoff, Singleton slicing through the hole. Caleb Downs with the tackle.
These opportunities now are just massive every time. Each defense getting an opportunity to possibly get off the field. And it looks like they'll go no safety. This is just cover 0 right here. This is aggressive, run-oriented defense. Look at this. Nobody back for Ohio State.
3rd down and 2. Aller fires. Incomplete. Nicely done. Broken up by Igbenusson, intended for Liam Clifford.
Well, James Franklin's going to want a flag here because on the beginning of this route, the entire early half of this route, watch Igbenusson and all of the handsy action he's going to have on Liam Clifford. And there he is. You see him kind of hold him and then tough to get out of his break, and then he arrives before the ball. No flag. The officials telling me before the game on the field, we want to let him play, and they're certainly letting him play there. Aller pleading for a call to the officials in the backfield.
So Penn State will punt it away. Riley Thompson inside his own 15. Brandon Ennis, the deep man. And Ennis has it at the 29, a 42-yard punt. So Will Howard guiding Ohio State down the field on his last series. Flag on the play.
During the kick, holding, number 8 receiving team. That 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. 1st and 10, Ohio State.
Well, James Franklin would have rather the holding call come out on the previous snap.
No doubt about it.
After the punt, just backs Ohio State up a few yards. There's James on the opposite side. Obviously had a ton of success and elevated this program to a point where, Gus, they just don't lose games to teams that they should beat. And he has done a wonderful job against unranked teams and has struggled in these games and these matchup style games against top 5 opponents and ranked opponents. And he's got a chance here, though. This is a really quality team, a veteran team that he's got with a lot of talent. And they feel like this is their time to take their shot and take down the Buckeyes.
First down and 10 at the 19-yard line for Ohio State. Howard. Sideline, incomplete. Intended for Jeremiah Smith, broken up by Elliott Washington II.
There is an injured Penn State player here. Here's the coverage on the outside. This ball just thrown a little bit inside. Jeremiah Smith kind of slow out of his break. And then behind the play, I didn't quite see what happened. Oh, that's right there. You see number 99 go down.
Keziah Izzard.
And Izzard just awkwardly stepping in the backfield before going down. Izzard, 6'3", 310 pounds, senior from Columbia, Maryland. Played at DeMatha High School. Let's hope he's okay. The interior of that defensive line, Gus, for Penn State, we were talking about it, in the prep of this game. Devon Thomas, Alonzo Ford, Zane Durant, Keziah Izzard, they've played really well, in particular of late. That's been a tougher defensive interior than they've had in the last couple of years.
Alonzo Ford Jr. really showing some great skill on film last week against Wisconsin. 2nd and 10 at the 19-yard line. Henderson, the pistol back, behind Howard. Howard pulls it out, drops it underneath. Carnell Tate on the move. And Carnell Tate, a sophomore, he's having a wonderful season. 100-yard game last week, 4 catches and a touchdown against Nebraska.
Yeah, including that beautiful long pass down the field last week. And, to have Carnell Tate as your 3rd option on the outside,
unbelievable.
That's an embarrassment of riches, isn't it?
No doubt about it. 3rd and 2 at the 27. Judkins back in the backfield. And that should take us to the end of the first quarter, and what a quarter it was. Competitive, exciting. 10-7. Penn State on top of the Buckeyes. Back for the start of the second right after this. Big Noon Saturday, sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Welcome back to Beaver Stadium here in Happy Valley. 10-7, start of the second quarter. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft with you. One of the biggest games of the college football season right now. Ohio State showing some snap back. 3rd down and 2 at the 27. Can they stay on the field? Judkins in the backfield. Penn State, did they jump offside? Yes, they did.
This has been an issue for Penn State.
Offside, defense number 11 in the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
They've had the second most offside penalties in college football. And here's Abdul Carter, number 11. You see right there, he's trying to get that beat off of the silent cadence. Remember, they're not using a cadence, Gus, because of the crowd noise. And so he's trying to get a beat on the rhythm of the center and their operation. And he jumped that tap. If you saw the left guard, and that left guard, Carson Hinsman, he tapped the center. But a really smart little adjustment from Ohio State is just wait a beat after the snap. And that's when they got the jump from Abdul Carter and a free first down.
Tell you, I really like how this makeshift offensive line is stepping up for the Buckeyes. 1st and 10 at the 32. Howard to Judkins up top. Dangerous throw. Dominic DeLuca in the vicinity.
Here's the tap that you look over there, number 75. You see that tap with his hand. So sometimes he taps to the center. That's Seth McLaughlin, and it's a snap right away. And Gus, and then other times like that 3rd down, he tapped him, and then it was a slower snap, which got the jump from Abdul Carter. But you see right there, another risky pass from Will Howard, just trying to get it to Judkins on the outside.
2nd down and 10 at the 32. Howard, delayed handoff. Nowhere for Ohio State. Judkins hit before he could get going, and that's a loss of 1.
Well, this is what Ohio State really wanted to avoid, is just a straight passing situation. Obvious where Abdul Carter, number 11, gets to move around. Now he's going to work on the right side of that offensive line. We'll see how they can protect.
3rd down and 11 at the 31. Carnell Tate gets closer to the line of scrimmage.
Man coverage on the outside. They've got man-to-man.
Howard, low snap, handled, steps up in the pocket, delivers to the sideline to Tate. He'll lose an edge and will not pick up the first down. Defensively, Elliott Washington the second there again, but there is a flag.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 9 for taunting by stepping over a down player. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Wow, how about this? So Elliott Washington, after he makes the tackle, here's Tate, he goes down. There's the slip that you were talking about. Washington is right there. And then as he's getting up, you can't step over and taunt right over the head of the down player, and the flag came out immediately right there. You see the official just steps away from it.
A self-inflicted wound by the Nittany Lions keeps Ohio State on the field and moving. First down at the 47. Howard delivers deep. He's got a man. Tate. I don't think he could keep a foot in bounds. Carnell Tate was open. Incomplete pass.
Oh, he was wide open. Will Howard's got to settle down. He's thrown the pick 6, a wild one to Judkins, and he's got a touchdown right here. All he's got to do is put this out in front of him. You cannot lead that open receiver to the sidelines. Tate has to go acrobatic, jumping over his outside shoulder, and James Franklin tells the whole stadium and America that's incomplete.
2nd down and 10 of the 47. Howard to Judkins out of the backfield. And Judkins picks up a couple. Tony Rojas knocks him out of play.
And here's another 3rd down. So here we go. Now, what Ohio State has done is they've given Donovan Jackson some help on these pass rushing situations, these obvious passing situations. 74, Donovan Jackson, first time he's ever in his life had to play tackle, and he's got to do it left tackle in this environment. So now Donovan's going to get help with a little bit of a chip from the back. You see the back on this side, and now Henderson will scoot over. He might be alone here.
3rd down and 5 of the 42. Howard, another short pass caught. Travion Henderson as he tight ropes the sideline. And Travion Henderson will pick up another Ohio State first down with a gain of 20.
This is just not the way you want to play defense, because that player is the man defender on Travion Henderson. It's just too late. He can't get all the way over there, so just a miss from an assignment perspective from Penn State defensively. They're trying to play man coverage, and they lose the back out of the backfield. That's an easy first down and completion for Will Howard.
Travion Henderson came into this game with 8 receptions on the season. First down at the Penn State 22. Now hand it off straight ahead to Henderson. And Travion will lean forward. Stopped by Wheatley.
Gus, I'm going to go back to Donovan Jackson. You know, he's moving out to tackle, and you even asked me, and other people have asked me, well, what's the difference? Isn't it just offensive line? No, it's totally different than playing guard. When you're at guard, you're in an interior space, and you don't have to defend the space that Donovan Jackson does. It's like playing defense in basketball at the top of the key rather than at the baseline. You don't have that extra help on the inside.
Well done. Here's Howard. Another completion. Howard. And a touchdown coming up for Ohio State. Brandon Ennis. A 20-yard touchdown, and the Buckeyes take a 13-10 lead.
Well, you got to love this. So you got Ennis right here. So Ennis he's the player that is in the bunch, and he's going to go across. I highlight Henderson because Henderson is the one that's going to drag the linebacker into the man player that's guarding Ennis. And so that's number 7, Zion Tracy, runs into his own player, and Ohio State making life difficult with these crossing-type patterns in the man coverage for the Nittany Lions.
Buckeyes take their first lead of the game, and do you hear that, folks? Ohio State has sucked all the energy out of this building. On top now, Chip Kelly. Terrific call. Ohio State leading on the road here in Happy Valley, 14-10. Friday night on Fox, one of college football's breakout stars, running back Caleb Johnson, leads the Iowa Hawkeyes into the Rose Bowl for a showdown against UCLA. It all kicks off Friday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox. Will Howard, since throwing the pick 6, he's 8 of 11, 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. Grew up 2.5 hours away from Happy Valley in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Was recruited by by Penn State early, but then they faded on him. Ended up at Kansas State.
How about the answer after the interception? You know, so Gussie, that's a great picture of just like the subtext for Will Howard today in this stadium that he dreamt of playing. And then that happened on his first pass attempt. It's a pick 6, and he comes back, and now they're 14-10. Man. Pacific Life Game Summary, sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Well, how about the answer from the Buckeyes? Will Howard throws that pick 6 early, and now he's 8 of 12 for 95 and 2 tugs already in this game. Quinshon Judkins, 5 rushes for 37. I think Aller's also been pretty effective, in particular with his mobility. We had a question about whether he would be able to move around, and he's done that quite well, but now it'll be Pribula at quarterback.
Bo Pribula starts from his own 25, runs it straight ahead, and he'll go nowhere. No gain on the play. Terrific defense. Tyleek Williams as well as Mitchell Melton combining on the tackle.
These top 5 matchups, and we've seen plenty of them this year, which has been sensational in our sport, but it's about answers. Answering the bell like a prize fight, Gus. You got 2 great heavyweights. What do they have to do? Round to round, they've got to answer the bell, make adjustments, and come back. We've seen Ohio State do that already today, and now it's Penn State's turn.
Second down and 10 of the 25. Singleton back in the game. How do the Nittany Lions respond? Down by 4 at their place. Play fake. Aller sets up, delivers. Nicely done as he throws a strike, and it's caught by Trey Wallace. First down for Penn State, gain of 15.
You know, that's one thing that they have needed over the last couple of years is some wide receivers to step up. And they've been doing it a bit by committee this year. You know, one game you'll have Trey Wallace play well, and then Amari Evans or Liam Clifford, but they don't have really that go-to guy that has stepped up to be an elite wide receiver. And that's a nice sign there early in this game that Trey gets a big catch.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass. That play is under further review.
Well, we'll see if he actually caught this. The footing has been A little suspect today, Gus. We've seen several players slip, and it looked like Trey was kind of slipping as he went down. It's just a matter of if he controlled this ball as he was going down to the ground.
Trey Wallace against Wisconsin, 5 catches for 67 yards.
Well, that's going to be close. The ground help him catch that. The ball certainly touches the ground. It's just a matter of if they deem that he had control and if the ground helped him make this catch. Tough to tell with that. I thought the first angle was probably our best.
Ruling on the field is a catch. This one should tell you something.
Does he control that? I don't know.
I don't think. Our rules analyst, Mike Pereira, joins us. Mikey Rulebooks, what do you think?
I like Joel's. I don't know. I actually feel like it's incomplete.
After further review, it is an incomplete pass. As the ball hit the ground, it'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Well, thanks for joining us, Mike. We'll check in with you a little later. That was a quick one.
I mean, so again, the ball can touch the ground, but he doesn't really have firm control. You know, he can't control it on the outside of the pinkies. And Penn State fans frustrated so far.
Drops have been a problem last couple of years.
Yeah, that's right.
Not as much this season, but last year.
And it's a big reason why they've said that Drew Aller has really improved is that he's been getting help on the outside. But Gus, you're exactly right. And this is a big drop here early in this game. Produces a big 3rd down.
3rd down and 10 of the 25. We haven't seen 44. Tyler Warren, maybe the best tight end in college football. Aller looking that way, some confusion, incomplete, and Ohio State will force the Nittany Lions a punt.
Well, this is another physical defensive effort from these defensive backs, and again, they're just letting them play. So here you're going to have Jordan Hancock, number 7, and watch, he's just going to catch Tyler Warren right there and kind of grab him, and then the Penn State players run into each other. So obviously this contact right here is not going to draw a flag, and then the fans want, it just looks physical, and everyone's falling over. They're like, it's interference, it's holding. But on that one, I can't say that was a penalty.
Penn State's wide receivers and tight ends, 0 catches so far. This one dies around the 40-yard line. Buckeyes will have great position after a 32-yard punt. The ball and the lead for Ohio State. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Voya. Well planned, well invested, well protected. 14-10. Ohio State on top of Penn State. Gus Johnson along with Joe Klatt. I tell you what, if you're Ohio State, you have to be happy with how you have snapped back in this game.
Yeah, that's a great term, snap back, because the response after that 10-0 deficit has been really tremendous. And remember, I talked about earlier, they feel like they were going to be more calm and ready for this environment because they've already faced a top 5 environment on the road at Oregon. And we have seen that maturity and that calming effect from that previous game show up in that response.
1st down and 10 at the 42, and they'll hand it off. Nice run around the corner by Emeka Egbuka. Egbuka, one of the leaders on this team. He'll gain 5 and also a prolific wide receiver.
Easy way to get the ball in his hands, hand it to him.
2nd down and 5. Howard with time now. Look at that offensive line. Buying him time. Howard on the move. Incomplete. Should have been a catch this time. Quinshon Judkins couldn't hold on.
He wanted him 3 times. First he tried to, he was going to dump it down to him, and then all of a sudden he has to roll out, and he tries to float this ball just over the defender and get it to Judkins, and you can see just off of his fingertips, and brings up another 3rd down here for Ohio State.
3rd down and 5.
I wonder if Penn State will play man coverage. We've seen them in man coverage a lot, and they've been burned. It looks like they're in man again, and one of these safeties will drop down.
From the 47. Howard, sideline throw, caught Egbuka, but he won't have enough for the 1st down. He's thrown down immediately by Jalen Kimber.
Well, Ryan has been more aggressive on 4th down than any time before in his career, in particular on this spot on the field, and it's paid off for him. Every time that they've been able to convert a 4th down, in this season, they've been able to go on and score a touchdown, and they'll leave the offense on the field, and they'll go for it here.
4th down and 1 at the 49.
Taking a lot of time. Now they're inside at 10 in the play clock. That's a smart timeout. You don't want to rush this snap on a 4th down.
Ohio State will think about it. Big 4th and 1 coming up. Dr. Pepper is celebrating Fansville college football. It's a Pepper thing. Beaver Stadium capacity, 106,572. The 2nd largest in the Western Hemisphere to Michigan Stadium and 4th largest stadium in the world. We've got drama on the big stage today. 14-10 Ohio State. 9:25 to go in the 2nd. The world-famous Buckeyes with a 4th and 1 at the 49. As their 235-pound quarterback rolls out of the pocket to throw it. In trouble. Howard! Caught! Yes, it is!
He was bobbling.
Jelani Thurman. A gain of 19.
I'm sorry, partner, but it's like you were on top of it, and then the ball bobbles up. Watch Howard. He almost gets sacked, and now he finds Jelani, who's just not used in the passing game almost at all, and that is just rumbling, bumbling, stumbling for that catch right there and a 1st down. Look at Ryan Day. He's like, Jelani, he caught it.
Buckeyes moving the chains after the 19-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 30. Howard, the handoff. Judkins straight ahead, and look at him churn those legs. Quinshon Judkins. Gained 7 on the play.
I know it doesn't seem like much, but did you see that push from the offensive line? You talk about a confidence booster right there. That was a big push. And remember, this is a totally rebuilt offensive line. New left tackle, Donovan Jackson. New left guard, that's Carson Hinsman. He started every game at center last year.
4 carries, 44 yards for Judkins. 2nd and 3 at the 23. And Howard tried to slip through the hole, Will Howard, and he didn't fool anybody that time. DeLuca, first man to him, along with Zane Durant.
Well, we'll see if Ryan Day is still in a 4-down territory type of mode by this play call. If Chip Kelly feels like he's got 2 downs, they'll probably run it here again. If not, and they would take the points or at least attempt a field goal, then they'll go to the air.
3rd down and 4 at the 24. Henderson checks in at running back for Ohio State. Howard gives it to him. Henderson, woo! What a burst. 11-yard gain for Travion Henderson.
You've got 2 Penn State players that kind of jump outside of the blocks, and look at Henderson just read that and stay nice and skinny right up the gut of that defense. Beautiful run. Tell you what, we haven't talked a lot about Travion Henderson yet, but this guy is also a sensational player.
Only 25 yards rushing last week on 10 carries against Nebraska. 10th in Ohio State history in rushing with over 3,000 yards. 1st down at the 13. Howard wants to run it. Oh, Howard to the sideline. Howard lost it out of bounds, but did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Ohio State. Will Howard.
This is going to be close. Gus, where did the ball come out? That ball is out, and then it is kicked forward. Did he fumble it out of the end zone, or is it out of play at the 1-yard line? That ball is clearly out before he gets to the end zone.
Zakee Wheatley knocks it out of his hands. And we've got a big call coming up right now. Mike Pereira, we're going to make you earn your money.
Yes.
What do you think, Mike, in
I know.
rule books?
Well, we know one thing. We know one thing. It's clearly a fumble. Okay, now the question's going to be, where did the ball go out of bounds at? Did it go over the top of the pylon? If it goes over the top of the pylon, that puts it in the end zone. And then what we're looking at is a touchback here. Ruling on the field against touchdown, so it was touchdown, so that's going to go away. But they're looking for that exact look to see where that ball went out of bounds.
Mike, here's what I think.
Over the top, it's in the end zone.
And here's what I think is interesting is once they're not reviewing whether it's a touchdown and now reviewing the rest of the play, now it's replay's judgment about the football, because they're not actually reviewing was it over or was it not. Now that the ball is out, now it's a judgment by replay, and to that angle, it sure looks like it goes over the top of the pylon to me. How about you?
That's my thinking, Joel. I mean, to me, look at this. There's not a perfect shot, but if I had to go by what I feel, I agree with you that it's over the top.
Boy, that is close. I would not want to be in the replay center right now. Our communicator, Sergio, came in earlier today and he said, hey, hopefully we don't have an eventful one. Well, Sergio,
you were wrong.
Here you go. Oh, my goodness.
After further review, the runner fumbled the ball prior to crossing the goal line. The ball went over the pile, resulting in a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for Penn State.
How about that?
Wow. I tell you what a break for Penn State. Zakee Wheatley comes in at that safety position and got that hand on the football, punched it out. It's a great play design. Travion Henderson had a monster block on the edge, and it looked like Howard was going to be at least inside of the 5, maybe get into the end zone, and now 1st and 10 for the Nittany Lions.
However, this Ohio State defense, after the early fireworks for Penn State, they've been sitting on the Nittany Lions. 1st and 10 at the 20. Tyler Warren wants to run the ball. He'll get outside. Nice and stiff arm as he crosses the 25, gets up to the 27 as he's knocked down by Cody Simon.
They've got to get him more involved. That's his 2nd touch of the day, and both of them have been because he lined up at quarterback, and that can't be the way that he's touching the football. So Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, has got to dial something up on this series for number 44. Some sort of delay, a shovel pass, something that gets him the football in space.
2nd down and 3 at the 27. And they'll run it straight ahead and pick up a 1st down with Katron Allen. Katron Allen has had a fine season for Penn State against Wisconsin. 11 carries, 86 yards, and a tug on the season. Over 500 rushing yards, averaging 5 yards per carry.
He's just so consistent. He's averaged 5 yards per carry since he stepped on campus. You know, I mean, his entire career. And here's a little creativity. 4 guys back there in the backfield.
1st down at the 34.
Oh, here we go, Gus. Look at this. The whole line over there.
What are we doing with this here, Joe? Here is a pitch. Nick Singleton. Gain of 7.
That signals the importance of this drive. Andy Kotelnicki emptying the toolbox right now as far as creativity and formation.
2nd down and 3. Aller swings it out. Singleton. And he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I thought Jack Sawyer lined up offside there. It was so quick, the snap. So quick, and Sawyer was trying to get down, and he just didn't.
Offside defense number 33. Lining up in the neutral zone, that 5-yard penalty will result in a 1st down.
Thus, this offense and this offensive coordinator, Andy Kotelnicki, puts stress on a defense in 2 ways. He does it pre-snap by having to recognize the structure of the offense, the speed of the offense, as you see right there, Sawyer lined up offside, and he also does it post-snap. Where's the football going? So every single time that the defense comes out and takes a look at this offense, they see movement. They've got to recognize that and get lined up.
1st down to the 46. Aller, play fake. Steps up in the pocket. Throws on the move and incomplete. Ohio State just everywhere today. This time it's Burke, intended for Liam Clifford. They've been picking on Denzel Burke a little bit, especially going back to the Oregon game.
Yeah, and you've got to understand something, right? That there's been a lot said about these corners for Ohio State, the way that they cover and how Denzel Burke played against Oregon. But listen, not every team has Evan Stewart. You know, Evan Stewart is a premier wide receiver in this sport, and they still feel confident in what they can do as far as man coverage on the outside with Denzel Burke, their young guy Jermaine Matthews, who's on the field, as well as Davison Igbinosun.
Prabula back in at quarterback. Prabula wants to run it, throws it to the sideline to Singleton. And Singleton will be stopped by Sonny Styles. Think about what I'm seeing with Penn State. A lot of creativity, a lot of motion, a lot of shifts, but they're not throwing the ball down the field.
No, they're not. And part of that is that these secondary players for Ohio State are locking them up. And then also, you just got to do it, whether you feel like you have the matchup or not. Now, is third down the time to throw it down the field? Probably not. You got to try to call something that you feel comfortable getting the first down, and that's where you got to look to number 44. Again, he's got to be a bigger factor in this game.
3rd down and 6 at midfield for Penn State. Aller. He's got to let it fly. Over the middle. Incomplete. Almost intercepted as well by Lathan Ransom. Luke Reynolds was the intended receiver, and the Nittany Lions will be forced to punt the football away again.
And this Buckeyes team is feeling comfortable right now in their man coverage. They're just playing straight man-to-man. You see Jermaine Matthews on Tyler Warren. That's where the ball really should have gone. You got the matchup and the size. Jermaine Matthews, 24, is only 5'11". Warren is 6'6". So Drew Aller needs to understand who he has in defense on Warren. And now you look up, and Penn State wide receivers and tight ends still without a catch on the day.
They send it away. Riley Thompson, Brandon Ennis, who caught the touchdown, lets it go into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, you were talking about the creativity for Penn State, but not getting the ball down the field. How about building offense for Ohio State? Early in the game, they get the ball in the perimeter with Quinshon Judkins on a little option. Well, guess what? They went right back to the perimeter, a toss sweep. Now, because look, they get in the same set as the toss sweep and fake the toss sweep and come back to Brandon Ennis. It's a really nice job designing plays and then getting to them by Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator, building into success.
Chip Kelly used to run that at Oregon, didn't he?
Oh,
yeah. Those little pitches.
All the time. All the time. He understood that his superpower as a play caller was getting really good athletes the football in space. And he did that at Oregon, and he's done that his entire career.
1st down and 10 for the Bucks at the 20. Ohio State's confidence really growing. Judkins. And talking to Chip Kelly, he's a very interesting story in college football. Here's a man that was the head coach at Oregon, the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, the head coach for the San Francisco 49ers, the head coach for the UCLA Bruins, decided to step away from being the head coach because he just wanted to coach ball. And he came here to be the offensive coordinator for the man he used to coach all the way back at New Hampshire, Ryan Day.
That's right. A guy that was his quarterback, at New Hampshire. And as he put it, to me, he's like, Joel, I just wanted to coach football.
Judkins can't squeeze through. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Will wrestle down immediately. Keziah Izzard. It's just so interesting how life changes. Chip Kelly coached Ryan Day when he was a quarterback at New Hampshire, and now Ryan Day, the head coach, hires his coach who taught him. Beautiful. Henderson back in at running back. 3rd down and 7. Nittany Lions. Pass rush. Hadn't been great. Will Howard and this offensive line knows what to do. Howard, now they get to him. Abdul Carter. A loss of 8.
Well, there's the matchup. So Donovan Jackson, the left tackle, is going against Abdul Carter, and that's a mismatch. And Ohio State was feeling confident. They were chipping early with backs and tight ends, helping Jackson out. Now they let him block single block, and that ain't going to work. Abdul Carter is just too fast for the brand new left tackle.
Takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Ohio State up on Penn State 14-10. Back after this. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Copilot Plus PCs, powered by Snapdragon.
Back in Happy Valley, Penn State, they've dropped 10 straight top 5 outings. They trail number 4 Ohio State by 4. Coming up on the State Farm halftime, fellow unbeaten Miami welcomes a familiar face to South Beach. Ole Miss is cooking up the Hogs early on, and Illinois, Minnesota caught in a tight one. Guys, we'll see you at the break.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. Joe McGuire punting from his own goal line. Zion Tracy, number 7, is the deep man, hovering around midfield. McGuire, quick kick. Tracy from the 45, breaks the tackle, and he'll get inside Ohio State territory before being stopped by Sonny Styles. A 41-yard punt and a 7-yard return. So Penn State, Joel, with great field position, with 1:51 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, big drive here, and they got to get their stars established. You see Singleton has gotten the targets, 5 receptions. Tyler Warren, though, has not gotten the catch. I keep harping on this because James Franklin harps on this. The entire offseason, talking to him about this game specifically, he said, our guys, our stars, they need to touch the football and be a factor, and so far Warren has not been.
Julian Fleming, former Ohio State player, wears number 3 for Penn State. He's on the field as Singleton crashes forward. Tyleik Williams gobbling him up, gain of 2. I tell you, these tackles for Ohio State, Ty Hamilton and Tyleik Williams, have been balling out.
Yeah, they've been good today. You know, they felt like they didn't play their best against Oregon, but they've been very good today.
2nd down and 8. Near side caught. That's Julian Fleming, the former Ohio State wide receiver, transferred after last year, coming back home to Pennsylvania to play for his hometown team.
Yeah, this is a big series. This is a big conversion because remember, Ohio State will get the second half kick here after halftime.
3rd down. And it's Aller looking for the first. He may be a tad short, depending on the spot.
Now's the time to take a timeout and really think about this if you're Penn State. And they will not. They're going to let the clock kind of go.
James Franklin says keep going. Clock winding down, 49 seconds.
If you're going to go for it on 4th, then you take the timeout to save the time because you'd much rather get a touchdown than a field goal. So a mismanagement right now of the clock. I think taking one of your timeouts right now would have been the strategy.
4th down and 1.
Sneak. Bourne's going to sneak.
And a timeout call by the Buckeyes. 2nd timeout call by Ohio State.
Look at all that time. So Gus, with 3 timeouts, if you're going for it on 4th, that signals that
just call the timeout.
Just call the timeout. You save all of that time. You got a minute, a couple of timeouts. You're on the plus side of the 50. Now you can go score a touchdown. But you don't take a timeout, and the clock goes all the way to 30. Well, now I don't know if you've got enough snaps in you to get the ball unless you start firing it at the end zone, which they have not thrown the ball down the field at all today. So this has been mismanaged right now.
However, you do have a terrific place kicker.
He certainly solidified
that has
that
not missed a field goal since getting the starting job 3 games ago. In Ryan Barker. 4th down and 1. Can they get it? And they do.
A good push right there. And now's the time you take the timeout. I would guess James Franklin was thinking to himself, well, I don't want to leave a whole minute on the clock if we don't get the 4th down. So he doesn't take the timeout. That would be, now I don't agree with that, but that's what I would guess his thinking would be. Singleton does a great job, leans into Simon and Ransom, and is able to get the 1st down. And now you've got a couple of timeouts in 26 seconds. You know, Barker has been excellent. Perfect on the year, Gus. But as far as distance, we haven't really seen him try anything from deep. You know, really, you look at it, his long right now is 40
against UCLA.
That would mean that they would need to get the ball all the way to about the 23-yard line. So you're talking about at least 15, maybe 16 more yards, and that's just for 3 points. But again, you got 2 timeouts. You got to maybe push the ball down the field here and try to get it in the end zone.
First down at the 38. Aller with time. Nobody open. Aller, look at the speed for the big man. 6'5", 235. He'll gain 15 yards.
What a great run and decision. We've seen it the entire first half. Aller has been an absolute threat with his legs. You're getting the man defense out there, and every quarterback knows that as soon as you see man-to-man coverage, you have an opportunity to create with your legs, and he does that. A beautiful job right here. He scans the field, good protection, and then he takes off. By the way, he has taken his knee brace off. Have you noticed that? He started the game with a knee brace after that injury last week against Wisconsin, and he has since taken it off. So clearly feels fine out there, and it has not been a factor at all.
6 carries, 41 yards for Aller, averaging close to 7 yards a carry with the long of 14.
Well, now you're right. You're right at the outskirts of field goal range. I saw Barker before the game. He was good from about 48. I think that you're well within field goal range. The only thing that you can't do if you're Drew Aller right now is take a sack.
First down and 10 of the 24. Aller looking. Aller lost it in the corner. Flag on the play, and it's caught by Trey Wallace. What a job. Igbinosun defensively. Gain of 21.
And I think Igbinosun is also going to get called for a little hold at the beginning of that play.
Holding, number 1 of the defense. The penalty is declined. First down and goal.
What a play from Trey Wallace. Beautiful release at the line of scrimmage. Gives an outside move, inside move, back outside, and then there's that grab from Igbinosun. And a beautiful one-handed catch. Look at him go under Igbinosun. Ball's just underthrown, and he's able to adjust and get that one inside the 5.
But can Penn State pay it off? Aller throws. Touchdown, Trey Wallace. No, they say he was out of bounds.
Boy, this was awfully close. And there's the bobble right there. And the ball actually went to Igbinosun. Wonder if he actually got possession with his foot still down. That might be an interception.
And they'll take a look at this one.
Gus, I didn't see how quickly he got possession, but watch how quickly he grabs the football. You can see he's got possession right now. Foot still on the ground. That's going to be a pick.
Unreal.
What incredible camera work from our crew all over it down there on the sideline from the field. And Igbinosun, look, he gets pushed right in the face, and then he controls it, and there's the right foot. There's the right foot. Holy, that's twice today. We rarely see reviews like this. We got the fumble over the pylon. Now you got this. This is going to be a pick, and I think Ryan knows it after it's being showed up on the Jumbotron here in Stadium.
And Igbinosun also thinks Davison, a junior from Union, New Jersey. Mikey Rulebooks, what do you think?
I think I'm glad I wasn't the official that had to make that call. I mean, it went from looked like it was going to be a catch to then all of a sudden you look at it and you say, oh my gosh, he's got control. Is that foot down? Then we get the great shot that shows that it is. And I'm with you, Joel. This shot here really shows you where he gets the control. And now look at that foot down. Look at that right foot down. And he's got to hold it all the way to the ground.
I was just going to say to the ground, and he does, Mike. I mean, a sensational play by him. Beautiful explanation by you.
After further review, the defender possessed the ball with his right foot in the end zone. Therefore, the ruling on the field is a touchback, Ohio State, and an interception. First and 10.
Holy cow. Gus, we've been doing this for 10 years. And we've never had either of these type of plays like this. 7 points taken off the board twice by a review. An opportunity for 7 at least. Will Howard, the fumble over the pylon earlier this quarter, and now a pick from Igbinosun. The Buckeye fans loving it. What a play from Igbinosun after he was getting stiff-armed in the face.
Yes. So Will Howard at the line of scrimmage. He'll take a knee, and Ohio State will head into the locker room. How about this, folks? 3.5-point favorites. They head into the locker room with a 4-point lead. Don't forget, after the break, join Rob and the boys with the State Farm halftime show right here at Beaver Stadium, 14-10. The world famous on top of the Nittany Lions.
Will Howard to the pride of American heritage. Did I get it right, Brady?
You did.
Is that who I was supposed to pump up?
That's Brandon Enos, though.
Brandon. Gosh. How about that? 14-10 Ohio State with the lead as we welcome you to the State Farm Fox College Football halftime show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. First top 5 matchup in Beaver Stadium in a quarter of a century has certainly lived up to the hype through the halftime whistle. Rob Stone, Brady Quinn, Mark Ingram, Matt Leinart, Coach Urban Meyer here with you. In the pregame, we caught Ohio State quarterback Will Howard barking at his team. This is where we turn it around. This is a chance to make a statement game. His maligned offensive line and his defense making a late statement, as we see in our State Farm halftime highlights.
I mean, what a game so far, the first half. It's been back and forth with some different plays, but this one to really end the first half. Drew Aller, who was using his legs to get down to this portion of the field largely, but going to Trey Wallace, we thought it could be a touchdown. Ends up being an unbelievable play by Igbinosun to get the interception and take any chance of points off the board for a Penn State offense that, without the exception of that first drive, that 14-play drive, they got a field goal out of. It's been really all of just their defense hanging around, keeping them in this game after the pick 6 to get us to the 14-10 score.
That, along with the injured, criticized offensive line of Ohio State, they've taken the crowd out of the game. The offensive line has. They've controlled the line of scrimmage. They've run the ball. Both tailbacks are averaging close to 6 yards carry. Take a look at the creativity here by Chip Kelly. All 4 receivers are to the left. It's an unbalanced set. They're going to check. They catch him in man coverage. That's a big mistake by the Penn State defense. They check the play at the line of scrimmage. This is like stealing, Mark.
Yes, sir. Like stealing candy from a baby.
Good creativity, good check. And then I want to show this one. This is what you didn't see the last couple weeks. That is called push.
Yes, sir.
They're displacing the defensive line of Penn State. You do that for 30 more minutes, Ohio State's going to get on a plane back to Columbus with a dub.
You're right. Yeah. You're right.
It all starts up front, and we talked about in the pregame show their inability to run the football really the last couple games. If they could do that and set the tone at the line of scrimmage, it opens up the run game, it opens up the pass game, and that's what we saw in the beginning. We saw that with Quishon Johnson. A couple other runs here, Coach. Just a good job up front with the offensive line, opened up some of those holes. They love this play. We're going to see a play action off that toss here in a second, but I love this third and short, little rollout, little play action rollout, hit Abuka for a big touchdown, and then right here, let's go back to the well, fake the toss, see Ennis backside on that crossing route for a touchdown. Will Howard was really good with the exception of the 2 plays. You talked about it. This game, honestly, this game should be 21-3.
Right. Yeah.
If he doesn't throw the pick 6, the unlucky fumble, 21-3. So a great job at the line of scrimmage, establishing the run that's opening up the pass game.
I thought in the pregame that this defense would be the difference in this game, but quite frankly, they have not been able to get off the field versus Ohio State offense. They've been getting dominated at the line of scrimmage, and they've had numerous penalties that have resulted in first downs. Here you go, 3rd and short. Jump off sides, results in a first down. Here you go again. Now, this is football. I don't know about this play right here. I don't think it's taunting, but it results in a first down. It extends the drive. Here you go again. 4th and 1. Cannot get off the field. You don't make the play on the quarterback. He extends the play. Great throw downfield for a first down. This defense has not been able to get off the field, and if you can't get off the field against a good football team, that's how you get beat.
And give Jim Knowles and the Ohio State defense a lot of credit for their game plan. If we were to sit here right now and say Penn State only has 24 combined rushing yards between Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, you'd say, you're crazy, you're nuts, those 2 guys are too good. How about for Tyler Warren as well? 1 target, 0 catches.
Come on.
They've eliminated from the game plan. Watch when you see number 2, Caleb Downs. He's shadowing Tyler Warren wherever he goes on the field, and so far it's been effective. Andy Kotelnicki's got to make an adjustment here in the second half.
4th time this season, Penn State has gone into the halftime locker room trailing. The previous 3, they've been able to rally to get the wins. When we return, we're going to check in on Cam Ward's Heisman campaign down there in South Florida. The Canes QB already with multiple touchdowns against Duke. More college football coming your way, 3:30 Eastern here on Fox. Number 17, Kansas State on the road at Houston in Big 12 action as we welcome you back to the State Farm Fox College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Glorious Saturday here in Happy Valley. We welcome you back inside Beaver Stadium in Miami. Off to their best start since 2017. Met their old head coach today is Manny Diaz and Duke in town. Canes trying to keep pace with ACC leaders Clemson. It was a great start for Miami, but Duke able to rally. Cam Ward, Cam McCormick, 4-yard touchdown. Canes up 14-0. It's a blowout,
the only
right?
difference is McCormick's been in college for about 5 years longer than Cam Ward.
Yes.
For a while. So.
Malik Murphy from Inglewood High School, the Texas transfer to Shamir Higgins. Finds room, 27 yards, and we're tied at 14s, guys.
And by the way, the Duke team's coming off a loss last week in which they lost to overtime to SMU. It's a good Duke Blue Battle football team.
More from Murphy, 11 of 18, 159, and
touchdown.
Duke.
They've been playing with fire all year.
No upset brewing in Fayetteville right now. Number 19, Ole Miss in town. Taylon Green.
No.
Jared Ivey.
Scoop and score.
Sack fumble for the tutty. We love big man tutties.
All right, Mark, here you go. Mark, here you go.
What you got,
Mark.
Coach is getting
Mark, here you go.
What you got?
Jackson
Up
Dart.
top.
Pork chop. Ooh, fried, smothered. He go for the touchdown.
Jordan Watkins, 62-yard strike, 21-3 Ole
One
Miss.
more, Mark.
Up top.
Got another one?
Smother it.
Up top.
Pork chop.
Same two.
Pork chop. Oh.
Dart, 294, 4 touchdowns. It's a rout. Staying in the SEC. Vandy at Auburn. Way to get involved in the highlights, Coach. There's a first for everything. Second quarter, Tigers down 7-0. Peyton Thorne, 30-yard touchdown strike. 7-7.
Come on, Vandy.
Yeah.
The only time I'm ever rooting for Vanderbilt is when they play Auburn.
Minnesota at number 24, Illinois. Darius Taylor, 9 carries, 75 yards, and this touchdown. 10-3, Minnesota up, same score. Josh McCray.
Oh, good run.
No way he gets out. Oh, he does.
Oh,
keeps the speed.
42
Mark.
yards.
Oh, that's what we call rumbling and bumbling.
Northwestern at Purdue, tied at 3s. 52-yard touchdown here from.
We getting this RB love.
I was just gonna say, man.
I love
What,
it.
that running back highlights?
Yes, RBs.
What did you curate our highlights?
He went up top.
National Running Back Day. It's
Cam
just
Porter.
beat 'em.
Airborne, Northwestern up 17-10 now early in the third. Virginia Tech at Syracuse.
Oh,
Jalen Lane from 7 yards out gave the Hokies the lead 7-0. They're up 14-3. Earlier on the big news.
Come on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Best
yeah.
time
Be
we've
real.
seen all
Is that
season. That's
real?
the second best one. Two friends. Boy, they really entertained the crowd.
Trace McSorley.
Trace McSorley, former Penn State great.
Hey.
Swing it home, and
That was
Heisman candidate Travis Hunter striking the pose with our
That's
two
clean.
Heisman winners.
That's clean.
That's pretty nice.
That was clean. I
That
ain't
was a
gonna
nice
lie.
little moment.
I ain't gonna
So
lie.
here's Penn State at home in another halftime hole. What do you expect in the second?
And the biggest thing is they got to find a way to get the ball to Tyler Warren. He's got a couple touches in the run game, but they've got to figure out a way of getting him more involved in the passing game. And I think they've got to stretch the field vertically. We saw some shots to Trey Wallace.
Yeah.
They've got to continue to keep forcing Ohio State to respect in the downfield passing game. Otherwise, they're going to have a hard time getting Kaytron Allen and Nick Singleton going in the running game.
To your point on that, Nick Singleton has 5 catches in the first half. They have 7 total completions. So he's your leading receiver. The other guys on the outside got to step up. And, Coach, we talked about this. I'm actually curious your point on this. The 2-quarterback system has not worked. Bo Pribula, we know what he can bring, but it's put him in long down and distances. So I don't think they go back to that. I think they put the game in the hands of Drew Aller, let him take some shots. He's played terrific in the first half.
Yeah, Matt. And you spoke about it, Brady. This receiver group of Trey Wallace III, they will have to find a way to create some separation, get open against man coverage, find the soft spot in the zone, and make contested catches. They haven't been able to do that in the first half. That's why they're able to take away Tyler Warren in this running game, and Nick Singleton and Kaytron Allen.
And you touched on this too. Ohio State has been staying on the field. Penn State have a hard time getting off the field. Tom Allen's got to change up on defense. You're not going to be able to play as much man-to-man. Got to play more zone. That's what they were able to do to trick Will Howard into throwing the pick 6. More zone, less man. It's hard to match up with these guys from Ohio State on the outside.
Ryan Day, coaching staff, players, they've done what they're supposed to do. They took this crowd. This was an inferno to start the game. There's nothing here anymore. Now it's just go play football, and that's a credit to the offensive line. They're controlling the line of scrimmage.
They are.
And it was that pick six which erupted this crowd. Second straight week, Penn State had pick six, put them up 10-0. Buckeyes responded with 14 answers. Coach, what do we call this?
Pick six, shouty. Come on, Coach.
Come on, Coach. Finish strong.
I use my terms. I'm done.
Second half kick on the backside.
Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got.
Big News Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Welcome back to Beaver Stadium here in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania. We're ready to start the second half. Ohio State with a 14-10 lead over the hometown Nittany Lions. Gus Johnson along with my partner Joel Klatt, and what a wild first half. But more importantly, Ohio State on the road, settling down, and they have the lead and the ball heading into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you touch on that wild nature. I mean, we saw big mistakes from both teams, turnovers at the goal line in the end zone. Will Howard throws a pick six. But really, it was about the team that settled in quickest that has the lead, and that was Ohio State. Let's take a look at some of our next-level moments of the first half, sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. There's that pick six we were referencing, Zion Tracy, 31 yards. He's into the end zone, and then Ohio State settled in. Beautiful throwback to Emeka Egbuka here. That's an easy touchdown for the Buckeyes. They started to build some offense, fake the toss sweep to Travion Henderson, and then they got Brandon Innes sliding back the other direction against man coverage. He was into the end zone. Then the craziness ensued. Will Howard looks like he's going in for a touchdown, fumbles it over the pylon, Penn State ball. And right before the half, Davison Igbinosun, just a giant interception to give Ohio State the ball and negate a scoring opportunity for Penn State. And now the Buckeyes will get the kick here in the second half. Wild first half, Gus, but entertaining.
Very much so. Wusu sends it away. And this one into the end zone for a touchback. Let's go downstairs and check in with JT.
Well, Coach Franklin told me Penn State has been a great second-half team all year, and we need that right now. I did specifically ask him about Tyler Warren. He said we got to get that guy more touches. He's crucial for our offense. And said defensively, I have been happy other than that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Now, I spoke with Coach Day immediately after that huge play from Igbinosun. He said the thing is, we expected this back-and-forth game. We had the fumble, then we had that play. I actually like how our offense is playing. We do need to run the ball a little bit better. It is crucial for us to capitalize right now, getting the ball to start the second.
All right, Jen, thank you. 1st and 10 of the 25. Travion Henderson starts in the backfield here in the second half. Howard takes it. He's got a huge lane, dives forward, picks up a first down and some. An 11-yard gain. Third quarter has been a great one for both these teams.
Yeah, Ohio State plus 85 point differential. Penn State plus 686 in yard differential. Both of those numbers best in college football. And Coach Franklin is right what he talked to Jenny about. They've been a terrific second half team. Both of their last 2 wins, Gus, they had to come back in the second half, and they were able to do so.
First down and 10 of the 36. Howard. He'll fire it out wide. Caught by Jeremiah Smith, and look at the run after the catch. Jeremiah Smith, money on the rise, folks. This young man, the sky is the limit. A gain of 14, 1st and 10 at midfield.
He's got a chance to be, I think, one of the best receivers that we've ever seen. I know that's high praise, but he's got that ability.
Ohio State on the ground. And it's Henderson stopped by Kobe King. Love Kobe King. Middle linebacker for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, and Kobe King is right here, number 41. And he's able to just slide through there, get off the block, and make the tackle, but 5 yards down the field. And that offensive line has been able to get some push. That rebuilt offensive line was a huge question mark coming into this game, and they've been able to run the football fairly effectively.
2nd down and 5 at the 45. Henderson, nice juke, cuts it inside, keeps those knees high like Eddie George used to.
That's right.
A gain of 16.
Now, Travion is giving up some size to Eddie, right? Eddie had the huge size, but a great run outside. Beautiful block by 75. That's Carson Hinsman, the left guard, pulling around. And then you see the power from Travion Henderson and taking care of the football. Looking to go high and tight with that ball right under his chin as he started to absorb the contact.
Travion Henderson, 5 carries, 38 yards, averaging 7.6, a long of 16, 1st and 10. Ohio State moving and grooving now. At the 29, they've settled down. That O-line is starting to kick. You know what? Here's the handoff. Henderson again. This time he's bottled up. And we'll just slide forward. Gains 2.
It's interesting because right before the half on one of their last possessions, Gus, it was one of the first times that they let Donovan Jackson, the new left tackle, he's an All-American, folks, at guard. He moves out to tackle. It was one of the first times they just let him go one-on-one with Abdul Carter. And we haven't seen it much. They've been creative in the run game and in the pass game, like right here. Look, he's got 2 extra guys. He's got an H-back out there as well.
2nd down and 8. Near side throw. And it's caught. Emeka Abuka with the reception. Cam Miller there defensively for the Nittany Lions, a gain of 2.
These 3rd downs, man, I tell you, they have been so important. But every series, Ohio State has been up to the task. So far, Ohio State 3 of 6 on 3rd down, been able to stay on the field, which what they really had an inability to do so last week.
1 of 10 on 3rd down conversions last week for the Buckeyes. 3rd down and 6. Howard steps up. And he got it away to Travion Henderson. I don't know how he did it. He was on the way down, Will Howard, and somehow managed to get this one off. Was his knee down?
I think it was.
Yes,
there it is.
was.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. You know, he was trying to get the ball to Henderson, but that knee pretty clearly down. Good job by that pass rush, getting home on a big 3rd down. That's what they've needed to do. And again, they led Donovan Jackson.
After an expedited video review, the quarterback's knee was down before he passed the ball.
It's interesting because Henderson slips past Kobe King, right? And he's thinking, okay, I can get the check down. But if he actually blocks Kobe King on this, then they could have gotten the 1st down easily. Howard thinks he's going to run. Henderson wants the pass. Watch right here. So Henderson comes up. If Henderson blocks Kobe King right there on the design quarterback run, it goes forever. But he tries to slip past him and wait for the shovel, and Howard just couldn't get it to him.
I tell you, I ran into Kobe King at the facility yesterday. We didn't get a chance to talk to him. He was in class, but after our meetings, I ran into him downstairs. This young man's body was carved out of Mount Olympus. He went to Cass Tech High School, a powerhouse for high school football in Detroit. They're called the Technicians. He is a technician, but now Jaden Fielding in to attempt his first field goal of the day from 46 yards away. Good snap, clean hole, got it up. Count it. 17-10. Ohio State will take the points. 10:40 to go in the 3rd. Buckeyes looking good. This is the 4th game this season between AP top 5 teams. Georgia already played 2 of them on the road, losing to Alabama and beating Texas. Meanwhile, this is Ohio State's 2nd top 5 matchup on the road, losing to Oregon and Eugene. And now they're looking for redemption today in Happy Valley. I have to be honest with you, I'm so impressed with the way this Ohio State team has come in there. Undermanned, under pressure, on the road, and competing with a 7-point lead at this moment.
And remember, they spotted them 10. Yeah, maybe not 10. I mean, you give them up the 3 points on the first drive, but then the pick 6, they were down 10-0, 17 unanswered since.
Singleton. And Singleton gets to the 25 before being taken down. Here's today's Aflac trivia question, sponsored by Aflac. Get help with expenses. Health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. Here's the question. What team has played in the most AP Top 5 matchups all time? I bet you don't get this one. I'll bet you $1. The gentleman's bet.
That's like a hint, though.
No.
That means it's not who I think it is.
I don't know who it is. I'm just betting against you.
Oh.
Who do you think? I said, when I first saw the question, Alabama, and I was wrong. First down to the 25 of the Nittany Lions. Aller sets up underneath, delivers Tyler Warren finally, and he'll get the first down. That's his first catch of the day. Cody Simon with the tackle.
Remember, Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator, it's not just a suggestion from James Franklin in this game. It is a directive to get the skill, the ball, and Warren is one of those guys. In this game last year against Ohio State, they didn't feel like they went down with their best. Their best players didn't touch the ball. Well, in the first half, Warren getting no catches, that's not how you want to go out.
First down at the 35. And Allen lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No game. I don't know. I'm going to see right now. We're going to see. As we answer the Aflac trivia question, most AP Top 5 matchups?
Oklahoma.
Wow.
Man.
Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame, Michigan, all on there.
I mean, it's your usual suspects, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's what that's kind of a list that you could guess.
Second down and 10 at the 35. Aller steps up in the pocket under pressure, crosses body, great throw, and a nice catch by Trey Wallace. Stopped by Denzel Burke, but that's a gain of 24. You got to let this kid throw it.
Well, I'll tell you, his ability to step up in the pocket is everything right now and just elude the rush. Another blitz right here, and he's able to just step up and calmly deliver the ball down the field. Very similar to those fourth downs against USC earlier in the year when he was able to elude the rush and connect down the field in order to move the chains. His legs have been the entire difference so far. If they don't have his legs, they're not moving the football. Now Warren takes the snap.
He's 8 of 15, 97 yards. Aller. And Warren hands it off to Singleton. He hits the sideline. Terrific open field tackle by Caleb Downs. And you know, Caleb Downs came here as the most coveted transfer portal player out of Alabama.
Well, rightly so. This guy is one football playing Jesse. I can tell you that. He was a freshman All-American, All-SEC, led the Tide in tackles, and now he comes over to Ohio State. When I watch the film, you know who he reminds me of?
Who's that?
I was a young player at the University of Colorado. We played USC in the early 2000s. There was a safety by the name of Troy Polamalu on the other side. That's who Caleb Downs reminds me of.
The Tasmanian Devil, 2nd and 6 at the 37. Here's the pitch. Katron Allen uses that 220-pound frame, gets close to the first down, and he doesn't want to be called Katron. Our Jenny Taff will tell you more about that a little later. He's got a nickname that, I tell you what, Jenny, tell us about this kid.
Well, you love a good nickname, right, Gus? It's all about the nickname, and it has to do with when he was a little baby. Fat Man was the name. It came from his mom. This is all about a nickname, right? And it has to do with a guy whose mom thought Fat Man was a little bit more appropriate. That is something that we always like to talk about when it comes to this team. It was Latasha Allen who had that nickname, and Gus, we love it.
Why did they call him Fat Man? As he runs it again straight ahead. 12 pounds when he was born.
Oh, my God.
12 pounds.
That's crazy.
Could you imagine anything 12 pounds coming out of your body?
No, obviously not. Oh, my gosh.
And he likes that nickname, Fat Man. It came from my mom, so when I was a baby, I was fat. So she named me Fat Man as my nickname. I don't really like Katron. I like Fat Man way better for real. Okay, we're going to call you
Right,
Fat Man
there
then.
we go.
And look at this configuration here by the big Zamboni. Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator. They snap it to Singleton. They get it to Aller. And the play just blows up in their face. Too cute. Too much.
They're trying to throw it off of that handoff. Singleton hands it to Aller, but as soon as you hand it to Aller, You don't fool anybody. You're not giving Drew Aller a sweep around the right side and run action. So the defensive backs don't bite. Plus, Ohio State's running man coverage. Those corners aren't going to care what's going on in the backfield anyways.
3rd down and 9 at the 30. Aller off his back foot. Warren with the catch. Nice open field tackle by guess who? Caleb Downs.
Great matchup. You know, Brady touched on this in the halftime, and alertly so, is that Caleb Downs has been following all over the field Tyler Warren. Here's Downs, one of the best safeties, if not the best safety in America, and he's just locked man-to-man coverage on Tyler Warren, and he just breaks easily, and he gives himself a little space on that crossing route. They're expecting a pick. They don't get it, and it's a tackle and a 4th down.
And that'll bring on the field goal unit. Ryan Barker. It's good from 29. This one will be from 44 yards away. He's been hot. Bang. Count it. Barker. Well done again. 17-13. Aller will settle for the 3. But Penn State right in this one. Back in a moment. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Discover, the official credit card of the Big Ten Conference. And by Progressive Insurance, cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more. This is the 5th time Ohio State and Penn State have met as top 10 teams since 2017, with Ohio State winning the previous 4 matchups. James Franklin trying to snap a 7-game losing streak to the Buckeyes. 17-13, Will Howard, who grew up 2.5 hours away from Happy Valley, said he came into this game really wanting to show James Franklin, who stopped recruiting him, that he made a mistake. So far, so good, even after throwing the early pick 6.
Helps that run game has been there, right? That O-line played well, settled your quarterback down.
So coming up after the break, 5:03 to go in the 3rd. Here comes Will Howard and the Ohio State offense.
I'm stoked. I cannot wait. It's going to be a homecoming for me. I grew up a Penn State fan. I wanted to go there my whole life. They didn't think I was good enough. But I guess we'll see next week if I was.
Ooh. Okay, Will. And he threw that early pick 6, but he's bounced back, and he's played well since. Doesn't get bigger than this. 1 possession, second half.
Something's coming. Joel, don't you feel it?
I do.
Here's Howard with the run, and he'll be tackled for a loss. Dominic DeLuca got him.
We have not seen Ohio State try to throw the ball down the field. Now, part of that is that they're trying to protect this offensive line, the rebuilt offensive line. The run game has been successful. But you get the feeling that in the next one of these, they're going to get into kind of a condensed bunch set at some point, get a heavy play action, and try to throw it to Smith or Ibuka down the field.
Jeremiah Smith, number 4. Don't forget, Carnell Tate, number 17. Terrific young receivers. Here's Howard. Sidesteps over the middle. And he has his tight end, G. Scott. Stopped by Jalen Reed.
And G. Scott's slow to get up right there. He was kind of wrapped up.
G. Scott last week, 2 catches, 20 yards. Tied his career high with 3 catches against Michigan State.
So
Yet again against Oregon.
They're going to have to go with Jelani Thurman, number 15, in there. And the reason why they got to keep a tight end on the field, Gus, is because of that protection issue. There's an ump cam look, and you see his feet just get rolled up under him as Jalen Reed, the safety, was tackling G. Scott.
3rd down and 8 at the 27. Howard steps up. Howard, oh, Oh, he'll go down. What a great pursuit from behind by Abdul Carter. His second sack of the game.
And again, Ohio State's going to try to single block with Donovan Jackson. It's not going to work. Abdul Carter is too good. Folks, this guy is a top 10 pick right here. Coming around the edge against a guy that's making his first start at left tackle in his life. He basically gets away with a little bit of a hold. Carter gets back to the quarterback and gets him to the ground. That guy is an elite player.
His 6th sack of the season, 17th sack of his Penn State career. Ohio State will send it away. Zion Tracy is the deep man. He'll backpedal, catches it at the 25. Nice stick move, and he'll get close to the 40. A 53-yard punt, a 15-yard return. Coming up, the Nittany Lions with the football, trailing Ohio State. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Hampton by Hilton. Hilton for the stay. The last time Penn State beat Ohio State came in 2016, and they did it in dramatic fashion. Grant Haley blocked a field goal and returned it 60 yards to put the Nittany Lions ahead, winning it 24-21. 17-13 right now, James Franklin's team trailing. Facing a first down and 10 at their own 38. Nick Singleton in the backfield with Drew Allen, an Ohio native. Allen sidesteps, drops it off. Singleton, first down. As we'll get into Ohio State territory, Sonny Styles pushes him out of play.
It's one of the first times Ohio State has run zone coverage, today. Now, they've done it a couple of times, but not often, and they get burned there. And actually, Igbenogson in the corner kind of followed his man inside and leaves that entire side of the field vacated. An easy catch and run for Singleton. You can look at just like the weird day for Penn State. Leading rushers, Drew Aller. Leading receivers, Nick Singleton out of the backfield.
First down at the 49. Shovel pass up the middle didn't fool anybody. Tyler Warren. Caden Curry there to stop him after a 2-yard gain.
They've got to get Tyler Warren a touch down the field. They were able to do that on the last series. They threw the ball to him down the field. He's just too good of a player, and he's too versatile a player. The other thing that I think, Gus, they need to do, test the corners on the outside. We saw them draw a pass interference and a holding earlier in this game, and these corners have struggled at times down the field. You've got to test if they can do that. You got to throw it down the field.
2nd and 8 at the 47. Aller under pressure, and he goes down. Cody Simon. Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator for Ohio State, drawing up some pressure.
And he's got him on a little delayed pressure here from Simon, but what I want you to look at is watch the back out here. And what happens is that they dropped Sawyer out from the defensive line, and that's why Aller had to pump and hold on to the football, and he gets the sack. Cody Simon on the pressure, and they finally get home.
3rd down and 17 at the 44. Ohio State pushing Penn State backwards. Aller dancing. Aller, and he's sacked again. This time, JT Tuimoloau. Back-to-back sacks for the world-famous. A loss of 4 here.
Gus, I told you they hadn't been running much zone coverage. Watch them all drop into zone, and because of that, Aller, he's got nobody to throw to as he's looking down the field. There's the zone coverage, and he's like, uh-oh, this is a little bit different, and just one beat is all that rush needs, and Tuimoloau is able to get home.
Riley Thompson will kick it away. Ennis, the deep man, lets it take a bounce, and it'll die inside the 15-yard line. A 45-yard punt. Friday night on Fox, one of college football's breakout stars. Running back Caleb Johnson leads the Iowa Hawkeyes into the Rose Bowl for a showdown against UCLA. It all kicks off Friday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox.
Well, you know Iowa plays defense, and how about these Buckeyes playing defense today? You got to give Jim Knowles a lot of credit, and those guys on that side of the football a lot of credit. A few weeks ago against Oregon, this team was torched for 8 explosive plays, gave up a bunch of points, and today, they've been sensational for Jim Knowles.
And I love talking to Jim Knowles on our Zoom call the other day. He was miserable.
He was.
I'm telling you. Howard finds his receiver, and that's Jeremiah Smith. Money on the rise. Jeremiah Smith will take us to the end of the third quarter with the score. Ohio State 17, Penn State 13. Back to Happy Valley right after this. Big News Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability for your business is our business. Welcome back to Happy Valley, Beaver Stadium. What a day, 111,030. This is the largest crowd in this stadium's history. Previously, we have to go all the way back to 2018, 110-8-8-9 in a game against Ohio State, won by the Bucks 27-26. We start the fourth. On first down, they run it. Judkins. Ryan's Day's group comes into this one after an underwhelming performance versus Nebraska, where they needed a fourth quarter comeback to beat the Huskers 21-17.
They could not run the football against Nebraska. 2.1 yards per carry. Today it's been different. 24 carries, 4.2 yards per carry. The O-line has held up their end of the bargain. But as we know, Gus, the fourth quarter is about playmakers and making special plays on the outside, and that's certainly what this team is going to be looking to do.
Second down and 8 at the 35. Judkins remains in the game at running back. They pitch it to him. He gets to the edge. First down. Oh, it lowers his shoulders. Quinshon Judkins with a gain of 15.
We saw this earlier in the day. What are you going to do? You're just going to option the defensive end. So Will Howard attacks the end and then pitches it on the outside. Beautiful little design. Second time we've seen that play. And again, it goes for a first down. Structurally, that's a formation that is really good for Chip Kelly and the Buckeyes.
Judkins, 10 carries, 65 yards, averaging 6.5 with a long of 22. First down at the 49. Howard sets up, goes deep, and complete. Jeremiah Smith had a step. May have lost that ball in the sun.
Looked like he stopped coming out of a break, and he didn't expect that ball to be his, and then he tried to speed up and give us one of his great one-handed catches that he has had so often in this season, and just out of his reach. That's a good ball. That ball's got to be caught by Smith. A mistake by the youngster, and Will Howard knows it.
Second down and 10 at the 49. Let's see if Ohio State goes back to the ground game. No. Howard underneath has his receiver, and this is Ennis. Brandon Ennis, the sophomore from Hollywood, Florida, American Heritage High School, tackled by Zakee Wheatley.
I'm just continuing to be focused on this matchup on the outside. So watch as Abdul Carter is working on Donovan Jackson. And Gus, I got to give Donovan Jackson a lot of credit. Now, does he get away with just a little bit of a grab? Yeah, maybe, but listen, he is held up out there at tackle. This is an All-American guard. He is a high draft pick at guard next spring. And he's moving out because his team needs it desperately. They don't have any tackles left. And he is held up against one of the premier pass rushers in the sport today.
Donovan Jackson has made some money today. First down and 10 at the 39. And the reverse, Ibuka. He'll gain a yard on the play. Well pursued. Jalen Reed with the tackle. Let's go to Jenny.
Well, and Donovan Jackson, Gus, was embarrassed by the way that O-line played last week. And I had a conversation with that O-line leader this week, and he said, if you would have told me we would lose 2 starting left tackles this year, I wouldn't have believed you. But this is a next man up mentality. He said, I'll play anywhere on the O-line. That's my position. I'm going to do whatever it takes for this team.
Second down and 9 at the 38. Judkins a single setback. Howard rolling out. hits Judkins, and he's chopped down, lost the ball. Is this free? I don't know. We will see. A.J. Harris picked it up. Penn State says they have it.
Well, this will be another close one. Replay is earning their money here today. He's got to establish control, and then he's got to have an element of time to make a football move.
Cam Miller with the tackle.
The question is, does he control the ball, Gus? Or is it bobbled the entire time? Tough to tell on that look right there.
Ruling on the field was a catch and a fumble recovered by the defense. Previous play is under further review.
Now we bring in our rules analyst, Mikey Rulebooks. Mike, can you give us the official definition of what's supposed to take place on a play like this?
If I knew the official definition, it's such a gray area that, we're talking about the element of time. And to me, you look at a foot, right? You've got a foot, then there's a second foot down, which is an indicator. A third step's even a greater indicator, but he never gets that far. Does he turn upfield? But did he have control? Did he have control? I just get a sense that he never really had control.
Mike, I probably agree with you. I think here's the tough part. Is there enough to overturn? Because I think that he initially establishes some control, and then that secondary foot doesn't quite get down to the ground. This is very much a gray area. They might have to just stay with the call on the field, but live, I thought it was incomplete when you're just talking about the bang-bang action without the help of the slow motion. Remember, at home, and Gus, I always have to remind myself, we're watching this in slow motion. And I know that's what the replay is doing, but they'll also, Mike, and help me out with this, they'll watch it real time and real speed in order to try to have some knowledge base for that element of time you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You do want it in real time. And I don't even like replay involved with something so subjective as element of time.
It is an incomplete pass. It'll be third down, 9.
Wow. Well, that is a giant review, and we've had several today, Gus. Another look.
And I would agree with the officials.
Awfully close, and now a third down. The last 3 third downs, Will Howard has been sacked by James Franklin's defense. This time, however, Carter will not line up over Donovan Jackson. Carter will be on the interior.
Third down and 9 at the 38 for Will Howard. And listen to this crowd. They need this one. Howard looking. Sideline caught. Jeremiah Smith got a foot in bounds. First down. Ohio State, a gain of 14.
And it's just a matter of time if you leave him in single coverage. Watch this. It's man defense, but watch the strength from the young freshman. Great release right there, and then he's able to just get back out to the outside. Beautiful route. You talk about patience and pace to your routes. He's terrific.
And Jeremiah Smith is saying, that's the same move I did against Oregon, and I got in trouble for it.
Hey, man, you said it, not me.
First down and 10 at the 24. And it's Henderson. DeLuca with the tackle.
Well, it is imperative that this defense tries to hold to a field goal. Now, they're not quite to the red zone, sitting here at the 23-yard line, but there has not been a better team in the red zone in college football than Ohio State. They have converted so many of these long drives into touchdowns, and they're going to be looking to do that. And again, you're going to have to watch out for some of this misdirection as they get into these bunch sets and you've got run fakes. You're going to find some of these wide receivers kind of sliding over on delayed routes to the other side. This is a set that they could do it out of right here, Gus.
Second and 9 at the 23. Howard sprints out of the pocket, squares, and just tucks it and goes out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. Devon J. Thomas giving chase. Gain of 2.
Good defense right there. And now another opportunity. I don't think you can allow Will Howard to sit in that pocket without Abdul Carter rushing over Donovan Jackson's side. That's the matchup I expect. That's what we're going to get. The sticks, number 11, on the offense's left side. 3 out of the last 4 third downs, Penn State has gotten home with a sack.
3rd down and 7 at the 21. And Penn State tackling G. Scott back in the game. Nicely done by Wheatley. And that'll bring on the field goal unit for the Bucks.
So Howard gets the ball off, and G. Scott just contacted by Wheatley as he's trying to catch that ball. Surprised they went to G. Scott there on such an important 3rd down and not to Abuka or Smith.
39-yard field goal coming up for Fielding. Good already from 46. And it's good. Barely squeezed that one in. But Jaden Fielding gives Ohio State a 20-13 lead. Buckeyes clicking in all phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Welcome back. 20-13. Will Howard and the Buckeyes offense on the sideline now. 10-13 to go in the 4th. This kid's a hell of a competitor. Will Howard left Pennsylvania, went all the way to Kansas State, Manhattan, Kansas. They call it the Little Apple. Led him to a Big 12 Conference championship last year. Into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, Gus, this Penn State offense better figure out this Buckeye defense in a hurry. We've done all these games the last couple of years, and Gus, now you go back 7 quarters, the last 7 quarters of football for Penn State against Jim Knowles' group, really haven't scored a touchdown. Remember, you got a pick 6 today. You had kind of a garbage time touchdown in the last 30 seconds last year, and other than that, just field goals. So in the normal course of the last 7 quarters, this offense has not found the end zone against this defense, and they need to find the answer in a hurry.
1st down at the 25. Singleton churning forward, gains 5. Caleb Downs.
Downs just flying in there. That's why he reminds me of Polamalu. I remember, again, I was just a freshman at Colorado when we played that USC team with Carson Palmer, and Polamalu was all, and we were like, who is that? You know, who's this? And this is before the hair. And I remember we were all like watching film, and we're like, that guy is just a rolling ball of butcher knives. And that's exactly how I feel about Caleb Downs, man. When he goes downhill and he zeroes in on a tackle, he makes it.
2nd and 6. Aller lobs it. Warren, a fight, and it's caught by Tyler Warren. He just ripped that one away. A 30-yard gain.
1-on-1 with Lathan Ransom, the safety. Take your shot. Why not? Nothing else is working right now. He's your best player, certainly on the outside. They take the shot and they get a completion. Well done.
1st down at the 40. Aller again bouncing around. Aller wants to run it, and he'll go down. JT Tuimoloau with the tackle, but I tell you what, the number 44, speaking of Tyler Warren, is a magical number in college football. Goes all the way back to 1954, when the man that first donned that number and made it famous was Jim Brown at Syracuse. He was followed by Ernie Davis, who won the Heisman Trophy in 1961 wearing number 41 at Syracuse, the first African-American to win that award. Then Floyd Little. 2nd down and 6 at the 36. They're handed off to Allen, and when you look at the Big Ten, that number 44 with Tyler Warren, yes, also the number 44 with the man at Michigan last year, Max Bredesen. He was an unsung hero for the Wolverines as they went on to win the national championship.
And JT Tuimoloau right here at Ohio State as well. A couple of 44s. We do have a player down for Ohio State, but remember Tuimoloau was a game wrecker 2 years ago right in this stadium, and now it's Warren and Tuimoloau. Which 44 will prevail? We have the answers when we come back. Pacific Life Game Summary sponsored by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. This was that fumble at the goal line, a turnover to Penn State, and then right before the half, Davison Igbinosun, he was able to pick that ball off in the end zone, and the Nittany Lions has ratcheted up the pressure. So have the Buckeyes, a couple of sacks today in this second half. But now the Nittany Lions driving here, Gus, on third.
3rd down and 6 at the 36. Here's Warren, gets outside with a block, keeps it in bounds, and tiptoes all the way to the pylon. Denzel Burke got him, but that's a 35-yard gain for number 44.
Missed assignment by Ohio State here. A couple of guys go with Singleton on the outside. And when Warren is in at quarterback, you've got to treat this just like you would any other option play. Someone's got to take the outside. Someone's got to take the quarterback, in this case Warren, and he gets it all the way down inside the 5. Beautiful play right there. And again, give 44 the ball.
They get to the line of scrimmage quickly. 1st down and goal at the 3. Penn State with a chance to tie this game up. Katron Allen leaning forward. 7:22 to go. 20-13. Number 3 versus number 4. Penn State 3.5-point dogs coming into this game. Can James Franklin finally snap this losing streak against the world-famous Buckeyes? He's 1 of 9 in 11 years. 2nd down and goal at the 3.
Here's your guy, Gus. Uwanya, the offensive lineman.
71, watch him in motion. They hand it off. Allen, and he'll get a little closer. Big moments of this game.
Boy, huge.
Huge moments.
I tell you, this doesn't get bigger than this. Now we're 6:30 and counting. 4th quarter, 7-point game. Top 5 matchup. The legacy's on the line. The narrative's on the line for Ryan Day, James Franklin. This defense has had a couple of stands in their back pocket the last few weeks, but they did lose Tyleik Williams. Tyleik Williams is out. So Caden McDonald, 326-pound sophomore, is in there at defensive tackle.
3rd down and goal at the 2. Allen, the pistol back. They give it to him. Allen, and that Ohio defense stout in the middle again. Remember last week against Nebraska, they had a goal line stand. This defense over the last 2 games improving.
You got to go for this.
Gotta go.
You got to go for this.
But what do you run, partner?
I think you try to get creative. You've tried it in the middle of this interior of the defensive line. Now what you have to do is you've got to get some movement. Bank on the fact that Ohio State's going to run man coverage. Okay, so they're being responsible for one singular man. So what you've got to do is find a way to slide a player out into the flat. Watch 44 or even 71. You're eligible right here. He could be coming across, and then there's Warren right there.
4th down and goal at the 1. Aller looking in the end zone, incomplete. Ohio State holds once again. Back-to-back weeks, this defense denies. (20-13) Buckeyes. 5:13 to go. Coming off the Oregon game a couple of weeks ago, Ohio State gave up 500 yards, 341 yards passing to Dylan Gabriel. But since then, Ryan Day, they had the bye week. He really went down and spent a lot of time with the defense. It's really turning out to pay huge dividends.
And getting Lathan Ransom back. That was the man who made the play. They wanted to go to Tyler Warren on the outside, but Ransom took it away. And now this Buckeyes offense right in front of the student section.
1st down and 10 at the 1. Judkins in the backfield. Howard will just lean forward and use that big frame to give him some room. Gains 4.
Gus, let's go back to that play and let me show you what they did here. Here's Lathan Ransom right here, and they're going to double cover Warren with Cody Simon on the inside. So here's Warren, and as he takes off to the outside, watch how quickly Ransom beats him there. That's the initial read. That's where Aller wants to go with the football, but it's taken away, and he's got to come back to the middle of the field, and that's where the coverage is tight from Caleb Downs.
2nd down and 6 at the 5. If Penn State can get off the field, they have a chance to get terrific field position. Judkins with the run. Judkins breaks a tackle and picks up a 1st down. Now that, it probably won't be noticed as much in the stat sheet,
exactly.
But that's a huge play.
I'm with you, partner. Exactly right. And he knew it, and this is the type of intelligence that Quinshawn has, because you could tell he looked down, he knows what's going on with the clock. Now we're getting to 4 minutes and under, and a 1st down, every 1st down is going to be huge, but even more so when you're backed up in the shadow of your own goal line. And Gus, he put that shoulder down and bang, gets that line to gain.
11 carries, 72 yards for Q. 1st down at the 14. Ohio State with some breathing room. Judkins slips through the hole and leans forward. I'll tell you what, he is close to breaking one. Quinshawn Judkins knows how to get skinny when necessary. Gain of 6.
And Buckeye fans right now, I know Buckeye fans well enough to know they're thinking to themselves, hold on to that ball. Hold on to that ball. Remember, he had that ball ripped out of his hands early in the Oregon game. Ryan Day knows it. Ball control, and Will Howard doing a great job right now. Look at him hold his team in the huddle right now, Gus. Running game clock, and he takes the play clock down to about 12 before he breaks the huddle. Won't snap the ball until this play clock is under 5.
2nd and 4 at the 20. Judkins again. Quinshawn Judkins picking him up and putting him down. Ohio State now all queued up. That's a gain of 15.
And 2 hands on that football. You see Judkins breaks through and just 2 hands on the ball. Great job by the offensive line, first of all. That's a big hole up front. And then contact comes, and there he goes. High and tight, locked in on that wrist. Not going to fumble that ball.
These offensive linemen have been wonderful.
100%, Gus. And these guys, Carson Hinsman making his first start at guard in his life. Donovan Jackson, first start at left tackle in his life. Shabola, 77. He's played the best game of his season. Without question, the right guard.
1st down and 10 at the 35. A handoff to Travion Henderson. And what you're seeing with this offensive line, Ohio State, they go out, they get the receivers. They go out and they get the DBs. They go out and they get the running backs. But the big question that the old lady used to ask, where's the beef? There it is right there, led by number 74. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands. (20-13), 2 minutes to go in the 4th. Ohio State looking to improve to 7-1. Ryan Day, folks, it's a hell of a football coach right there. He can coach the game, and he's got his guys 2 minutes away from a huge win on the road against the number 3 team in the country. 2nd and 4 at the 41. Can they eat up the clock? Judkins. Penn State. Nittany Lions with 3 timeouts remaining. Ohio State with 3 timeouts remaining. The last time Ohio State beat a top 5 team on the road came in 06 in Austin. The number 1 Buckeyes were led by Troy Smith, who would go on to win the Heisman Trophy that year. Ohio State would lose to Florida in the national championship game that season.
Remember who the coach of that Florida team was?
Was it Steve Spurrier?
No. Our guy.
Oh, is that
our
who?
guy Urban?
Who?
That's right. Our guy.
Urban who? Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer.
Oh, yeah. That name sounds familiar.
So, Gus, here's the deal right now. A 1st down, and Penn State will have to use their timeout after they reset the chains. And it becomes real precarious. They have got to get a stop here. You've got to sell out to stop the run.
This drive started at the Ohio State 1-yard line. 3rd and 2 at the 43. Judkins in the backfield. Howard runs it, looking, and he'll get it. The big fella with speed. First down, and he says, "Take that, Penn State, for not recruiting me."
Gus,
falling off my recruitment.
Look at the block from Judkins. This is just an absolute whack.
Woo!
And that's what springs Howard for the necessary yardage to get the first down. Now, it is not over yet. You've still got 2 timeouts if you're Penn State, and because of that little stoppage there to set the chains, they don't take it here. You still got 2 timeouts. They can get the football back. That did not end the game, but it makes it very difficult, obviously. And even if they're able to stop them on these next 3 downs, James Franklin's team's looking to get the ball back somewhere well inside of a minute.
First down at the 46. Ohio State calls a timeout, their first timeout of the second half. As you take a look at the Ohio State schedule, gets a little bit easier over the next 2 with Purdue and Northwestern, and then Indiana. Indiana's got Michigan State today on the road, and Michigan to follow. Michigan playing Oregon at home.
Because depending on how long each of these plays take, right now, if Penn State can get a stop, they would get the ball inside of about, I would guess about 25. If they can get the stops necessary with the 2 timeouts that they have. A first down here for Ohio State. And they can salt this thing away.
From the 46, first down, Buckeyes. Thurman in motion. Henderson gets through the hole and picks up a big chunk. You got to give a lot of credit to this Ohio State offensive line coach. His team came in ready for bear.
Justin Fry, he's been heavily criticized because of the way that the offensive line is played. They did not play well against Oregon. The mistakes up front led to some of their issues, in particular after Josh Simmons, who was their normal left tackle, Gus. He was going to be a high draft pick. He was playing great. They lose their left tackle, and they, for about the last 6 quarters before today's ball game, they could not run the ball.
But I think they found something. Zen Mikulski was in there last week at left tackle for Simmons. He didn't play very well, but this shift, there's a great rhythm up front with these big boys.
Interesting you say rhythm. I agree with you. Remember, Carson Hinsman started all the games last year at center. So even though he moves over to guard, number 75 right there, he's played a ton of football with Donovan Jackson. And to them, it's the same as last year because it was Hinsman at center and Jackson at left guard. Now it's just Hinsman at left guard and Jackson at left tackle. So they've got a relationship. They understand how to work on that left side of the offensive line. And I tell you, I'll be honest, Gus, I did not see this coming. This was not on my bingo card for this offensive line to play this well.
I didn't see it coming either, partner. 2nd and 3 at the 47. And they will not get the first down, but it's something to be said about this Ohio State team. Ryan Day, after the game last week against Nebraska, in which they barely were able to win that game, his post-game interview with Ginny, the first thing he said was, we have to run the ball better, which means they needed more blocking up front. 170 rushing yards in this game. Only 64 last week against the Cornhuskers.
They certainly answered the bell. So now you got, last time out, you got 3rd and 3. 3 yards for the win. If they don't get it, Penn State can get the ball back with about 20 seconds left. And from this spot on the field, you'd be looking to pin them, certainly, hopefully, if you're Ryan Day, inside the 15 or 10-yard line. And you would have to get 7 points, drive the length, get a touchdown in that 20 seconds. So precarious situation, obviously, for Penn State.
Penn State out of timeouts. Nittany Lions have fought hard.
They've been great on short yardage today. 3 of 3, 100%.
Third down and 3 at the 47. Judkins back in the game at running back.
That's smart. That's smart. Did you see the confusion out there? We had some confusion from Bennett Christian, number 85, and G. Scott, 88. They're the two tight ends. They were both on the right side, and you can tell they were trying to get the communication. Didn't have a great idea of what each was doing, and Ryan Day, seeing that, alertly calls timeout because he knows, hey, this snap is for the game. We can't go out there and miss an assignment. We've got a timeout, and we took it.
Chip Kelly, Chipper the Ripper, as they call him. What a great call today.
And remember now, this guy's MO is running the football. And so a week like last week was very out of character for a Chip Kelly offense, and they've certainly righted those wrongs here today.
3 yards away from their 7th victory of the season. Judkins most likely will get it, or Howard. Howard runs it. First down, Moore slides down inside the 40. Ohio State. How about this? They come into Happy Valley, and they will walk out with a 20-13 win over the Nittany Lions.
Gus, the Pennsylvania kid, ends it for the Buckeyes.
Upcoming schedule for the Nittany Lions. It gets easy from here. But once again, James Franklin unable to win a big game. Now 1-10 against Ohio State. 1-14 at Penn State against top 5 teams. Ryan Day. They were miserable this week on the conference call, folks. All the coaches. Focused, determined, disciplined. The world famous Buckeyes win it 20-13. And Ohio State right back in the national championship picture. Downstairs, let's go to Jenny with Coach Day.
Gus, thank you. Well, Coach, Ohio State, 8 straight against Penn State. I know it feels good for you, but I want to start with that defense because another week, they have a huge goal line stop. How pleased have you been with the way they've stepped up the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, just the toughness overall, just to stand in there and get that stand like that. It just shows the grit and toughness of this team. There's a smile right here on my face. And, you know, I'm really proud of this team and the physicality. And then to get the ball on the 1-yard line and then finish the game the way we did on offense just shows the physicality of this team, the toughness of this team to go get this win, and it feels really good. We're going to have some fun in Columbus tonight.
I have a feeling that smile also has to do with your O-line and really the way they were able to step up at the rhythm they found. How pleased were you with what you saw?
Well, you know, we're crushed with, like, you know, the fumble on the 1-yard line, all these different things that came up, but we kept fighting, we kept swinging. You know, Donnie steps in like that, never playing left tackle against a really good player in Carter, and I thought Will was tough. You know, he just kept fighting and battling, and, man, I'm just happy for our guys.
Congratulations. Enjoy it tonight in Columbus.
Thank you.
They're going to pass around a lot of game balls in that Ohio State locker room right now. But that offensive line, every one of them that stepped on the field needs to get a little pigskin.
The entire narrative about Ohio State changed in the last 3.5 hours. This team, that team that we just saw with that offensive line, they're certainly national champion caliber.
176 rushing yards. Ohio State's defense holds Penn State to just 2 field goals. The world famous Ohio State Buckeyes coming to Happy Valley and win it to 20-13. Studio coming up.
Coming up next on Fox, we take you out to Houston as the Cougars host 17th ranked Kansas State. Wildcat QB Avery Johnson, he's accounted for at least 3 touchdowns in each of the last 4 games for 7-1 Kansas State. Kickoff coming up in under 13 minutes as we welcome you to the Fox College Football Extra, sponsored by Defender. Ryan Day's run of 4 straight top 5 defeats comes to a close here on the first Saturday of November. Ryan Day and his new offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, enjoying the moment like 2 New Hampshire guys like to do. Coach, you can relate, man. Oh, that feels good on one side. Brutal for James Franklin and his staff. A Beaver Stadium record, 111,030. Wow. Saw the Buckeyes go to 1-1 on the season in top 5 showdowns. They keep their Big Ten and their playoff hopes very much alive. Brady, Mark, Matt, Urban, Rob Stone back here with you. Last week, it was the Buckeye defensive line that was under duress. This week, the offensive line answered the call. So too did Coach Day.
Absolutely. All week, or really for a month, you've heard you can't do this, you can't do this. That's one of the most impressive wins in Ryan Day era. That was it, to come into this kind of environment, and I can promise you, you get questioned about your toughness. Your offense line gets questioned. All you got to do is show a 59-yard drive, 11 straight runs against a Penn State team in this stadium to close out a game. That's called a 4-minute drill to perfection. Their toughness was there. The offensive line, to me, won this football game. The offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage for 60 minutes, Mark.
Well, one thing in this game, Coach, is the Ohio State red zone defense. Yeah. The name of this game, when you get in the red zone, is to score touchdowns. And in their last 8 red zone trips, they've given up 1 touchdown. Yeah. They did it last week against Nebraska. They're able to do it again this week against Penn State. Yeah. 4 red zone trips, 2 field goals. Here you go. This is the last stand right here by the defense. Winning at the line of scrimmage, stopping them. Running to the team for the defense, getting the stops. Defense wins championships, and your defense travels. And that's what they did today. Penn State had 4 red zone trips, man. They came away with 2 field goals, 1 interception, and 1 turnover on downs. This Ohio State defense, this Ohio State red zone defense came in the game as the number 8 red zone defense in the country, and they showed today that they are the best red zone defense in the nation.
We talked about the concerns for the offensive line for Ohio State. Carson Hinsman, congrats, young man. You stepped up on a huge stage. We know you started all last year, but in this spot to play left guard next to Donovan Jackson, you dominated the line of scrimmage. Ohio State's O-line won it. Penn State's, in that instance, the way Andy Kotelnicki called the game, was hoping that his offensive line could go help them at least have a shot at winning this game. But that play calling, to me, was atrocious. Tyler Warren had 80 scrimmage yards in the second half, and to not target him once, not once in 4 plays, he got you down there with a 33-yard rush, and you don't have 1 touch for him? I'm beside myself for Penn State fans for that reason.
Also, Will Howard, tough, gritty performance, had the pick 6 early. We know it's tough to come back from those plays. Had the fluky fumble there. That was a touchback. I thought he battled. He did enough with his legs, especially on the last drive that you mentioned, getting a couple first downs. Listen, for this Ohio State football team, if Will Howard just plays above average, if he protects the football, makes enough plays with all these weapons, and that offensive line, Brady, you said, they continue to get better. This is the most dangerous team in college football. They got a great leader. He played today with a chip on his shoulder, right? Wasn't recruited by Penn State, from the state of Pennsylvania. Proud of him for the way he handled the pressure today, and they got a big W.
After they were able to survive Nebraska at home last week, we heard the energy and the fire from Will Howard. They didn't recruit me. I can't wait to get back there. There hadn't been a whole lot of fire and brimstone in this Ohio State team. Howard had it postgame. Howard has got it postgame this Saturday as well. Here's Jenny Taft with the Pennsylvania Kid.
Well, how does this sound? A Pennsylvania kid gets the win for Ohio State at Beaver Stadium. I know the emotions for you going into this one, but to end it that way, I saw your feelings and how you looked into the crowd. What was going through your head?
Oh, man, it was an emotional game for me. It didn't start great. I did not play my best game, but, I mean, I have the best team in the country around me. They bailed me out, man. The defense made some unbelievable stops on the goal line, kept us in that ball game, and, man, what a great football game, and what a great place to win.
I want to give you an opportunity to highlight that O-line. Donovan Jackson told me we will step up for our guy, for Will. How pleased were you with their performance?
I was unbelievably pleased. Those guys stepped up. They heard it all week, man. Everyone was saying our O-line stinks, whatever, this and that. They stepped up, man, and I'm so proud of those guys, man. I told them, you guys are the best O-line unit in the country. Go in with that mentality, and they did that, man. I'm so freaking proud of them. They did an unbelievable job.
Congratulations. Enjoy this one.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
Buckeyes home to Purdue next Saturday. Down but not out. Certainly the story for the Buckeyes when they've been down by double digits against Penn State since 2014. You see the 2 narrow wins and then the 7-point victory today in front of a record crowd here in Happy Valley. Time now for the Land Rover Defender highlights. Number 5, Miami, looking to remain unbeaten, hosting their old head coach, Duke, in town. Elijah Lofton with Miami down 3, punches it in from 2 yards out, so the Canes retake the lead. They're up 32-28. Go to the fourth quarter. Cam Ward Jacoby George.
Oh, he does it again.
Cam!
There he goes.
This connection is dangerous with the speed of George, but Cam Ward, 5 touchdown pass, over 370 yards passing in this one.
His big target, Xavier Restrepo, 146, 3 touchdowns.
Cam! Whoa, Cam!
They rolled. 50 burger, and there's still time left.
The cover.
Number 19 to Ole Miss at Arkansas. Remember, the Razorbacks upset Tennessee at home earlier in the season. No upset today. Jackson Dart, Jordan Watkins.
You're going to see this about 5 times in this highlight.
Dart, 4 touchdown passes in the first half. That put him up 28-3. Scary moment here, though. Henry Parrish Jr. up the middle, 3-yard gain. Parrish down in pain after the play. Helped to the locker room. Did not return. Dart, Watkins again.
Yep. We can just put that on repeat in this one.
Dart, just throwing darts.
Left. Coming up next here on Fox, Kansas State and Chris Kleiman, their first 8-1 start or better since 2012 if they get the win. Wildcats looking to remain in contention for a Big 12 title game berth. There is weather in the area. They are under a delay, so we'll take you next out to LA for our continuing coverage of college football here on the first Saturday of November.